Hello and welcome. This is Grant Hughes of Grant Hughes Investigates on YouTube. This channel evaluates all aspects of true crime. As you are aware, videos and live streams in this genre often discuss elements of crime that may be disturbing to some viewers. If necessary, take the precautions needed to avoid these feelings. Factual information related to cases is the key to fostering rational true crime discussions. Fortunately, you will find that here. Please hit the like button only once, share the video, and subscribe if you like my content. Thank you very much for watching.
Huh? It's a house!
Did you hear what I said?
Huh? It's a house!
What's going on, freaks? I can't tell if the camera's live again or not. Hard to tell. Don't know what they're doing. I almost feel like I could see something in there. Hey, thanks, Cheryl Bullock up there. Cheryl Bullock. Maybe it's Bullock. I don't know. And alley cake, as in I'll eat cake. Hey, I got a Bruce Holdaway sent me something. That's pretty cool. Wow, look at that. Timothy Cecil's birthday today. He's 31 years old, he told us. I guess we'll have to get Mary Lou out here. All right, where is Mary Lou? You have to sing happy birthday for Timothy Cecil.
What do you mean, Gray?
I mean, you got to sing her happy birthday to Timothy Cecil. He's 31 years old. I'm going to do it myself. Happy birthday. Oh, forget it. I'm not going to do it.
Gosh, Gray, you suck. Happy birthday to Timothy Cecil. Happy birthday to Timothy Cecil. Happy birthday to Timothy Cecil's 31. Happy birthday to you.
Wow, that was terrible.
Gosh, Gray, that isn't very nice. I tried my best.
Well, I bet you did. Okay, well, anyways, happy birthday there. And then we got a thank you, welcome, Desert Omarose. All right, so Bruce Holdaway sent me there he is right there. For Tim's for a party. All right. He sent me a pen, and he said, let's see if I can get it out of this thing now. I put it back in there. Thank you, Cinnamon Sin Freak. He said, hey, Gray, I wanted you to have one of these pens I make. I turn them on my lathe. I'm not sure how to, man, that's crazy to do that on there. I made you a crimson red, maybe for the Blazers, with a gunmetal color for the casings. Hope you like it, you bastard. Hope you like it, you bastard. Yeah, here, look at it. Let's see it. I don't know if he does this stuff for a living or not, but it's pretty amazing. Look at this. It looks like a bullet at the end, right? And then there's this little part here that actually does the. Okay, so this right there it's like a bolt action pen. You push it down and then you slide, you push it down and then you slide it in there. See that? And then it's out to write. It's pretty awesome. It's the best pen I've got. So thank you. Very cool. Very cool. How do you, so the metal, what do you put on the lathe? Which part goes on the lathe? I was trying to figure that out. Yeah, no, it's cool. I like it. Yeah, do you sell those or what do you, is that what you do for work? It's pretty sweet. Maybe you can, other people would get some. Hello, Coco. Or maybe we could do something where you make freak pens and we have some sort of a commission portion, right? Like I get some and then you get some. Maybe we could talk about that. That'd be kind of cool. Then we could have freak pens that are like high quality. Instead of ordering them on these. Oh yeah, you sell them on the side. Oh yeah, cool. Hey, look at that. We got Irene Cypher, 43 months as Oogla Boogla Freak. Be cool to make like a freak. Can you put words on there? We can make a freak one. Hey, thanks. I'm glad you liked the video earlier. It's weird how it hardly gets any views, but you could have a video by some dipshit talking about, oh, look at this. I used AI to draw the face of the suspect behind the balaclava. I'm going to tell you guys again for the 20th time. Anybody out there claiming that they can come up with an accurate sketch of a face with somebody wearing a balaclava is absolutely pulling your leg. They are full of crap. That's just a fact. All right. So that sketch artist out there that did that, absolutely bogus. Completely. How would you know if somebody had a scar on their face? Anything. You have no clue what they look like. It's just unbelievable. Now, if they come close, it's just pure luck. It has nothing to do with like, oh, yeah. He has, see, and anybody's close too, right? So somebody with dark hair, a goatee, when I was younger, I had a darker goatee. I'd probably look similar. It's idiotic. And the sad part is this, everybody just buys into it. All that stuff, all the side stuff. I thought my video today was just really like, hey, doesn't this make sense given the information that we have? Now, it would be interesting if that one super chat that was on JLR's show has nothing to do with his investigative non-ability, but it's a, what do you call it? It's a super chat. So it actually, somebody on there seemed to say that image, this one right here, is from January 11th, which is weird because he's wearing exactly the same clothing, the same glove, pants, jacket, etc. He's only missing the the gun and the backpack on that one. Mm-hmm. All right. So let's try not to have the massive lulls in here tonight like we did last night. We did okay by the end of the show, but it was just it's just too nerve-wracking. So if you guys have the ability to help support the channel, that's what allows us to keep doing all these videos and shows. The video isn't going to do very well because it actually is doing better now than it was at the beginning. That's how crazy that is. So you guys have seen it yet? Yeah, go out there and also go to my video and hit the hype button and get more people to see it. I would appreciate that too. Mm-hmm. I think it's a service for people to be Like if you're out there and you're live streaming, I don't have a problem, but it's when you turn it into sensationalism and you're live streaming and you're like ambulance chasing and running around doing that, that's where it's just too much. Right? You're getting in the way of law enforcement. You're creating narratives that aren't true, and you see people start to believe things that just are not accurate at all. Well, I don't know. I don't think it's a big risk to go there twice. If I'm not sure I believe the comment. Either way, it's not really relevant to me. This isn't after. This is before he goes to the front door, regardless of what time it is. I mean, this didn't happen after she was abducted. I mean, that would be ludicrous. Hey, let me go look at the front door again. Does that make sense? No. Just before, and if it's a couple days before, if it's just earlier in the evening, everything really just sort of starts at 1:47-ish, when he's in there with the plant. That's kind of when it all starts. And obviously, the person had a vehicle. Can we all agree with that? That the person had a vehicle, that he didn't walk Nancy miles and miles out of the area? Right. Yeah, and ordering pizza. Thank you, Wild Bill Wassman. I always notice that whenever I say, hey, guys, if you guys could help support the channel, it just, it goes. But there are some people that go, okay, yeah, let's go. Yeah. they didn't forget. So thanks, Wild Bill Wassman. Appreciate it. Yeah, so I think everybody can say, yes, the person had a vehicle. And if he had a vehicle, do you think he would pull up right? See, that's where the logic, we use logic, reason, and common sense right here. Do you think he would pull up the vehicle right here without disabling that camera? And the answer is no. So if you know that, what am I looking at? What am I looking at? What am I looking at? Oh, wow. Look at Coco Love. Hey, all right. Thanks, Coco Love. Coco Love said, or what is it? I don't know. She said, Alyssa, I want to do Alice? Who you? Allie Cake? Is that who you're talking to? Yeah, Allie Cake, I want to do a challenge, 5 for 5 membership. So if 5 people gift 1 membership, Coco Love will gift 5. Apparently, that's what she's saying there. Because he's right next to the same, he's dealing with the same camera, that's why. It's got to be the same night. And plus, I'm actually not sure I believe that video is from the 11th. Because if she wasn't paying her bill, that seems like that definitely would have been written over. All right, but did you see Coco Love's challenge up there? She'll do 5 memberships if 5 other people do 1. All right. Let's not leave her hanging too long in there. Oh, man. Jesus. Now, looks like Wild Bill Wassman did 1. As usual. Thanks, Wild Bill Wassman. Looks like I'd rather be sleeping got 1. And then we got Miss Skyla 8409. Now let's just see what some of these updates are, I guess. Thanks, Twin Thing. The search for 84-year-old Nancy Guthrie, the mother of Today's Show host Savannah Guthrie, began after she was abducted. Yeah, right. The FBI last week released photos. Yep, we got that. What's the... Yeah, it's the 19th. What's the update? Let me see if they're saying something in here. Right. Now, I've been hearing that they found another. Did you guys hear that? That like they found some more unidentified DNA, or foreign DNA inside that in the house just recently. All right, guys, we need 2 more gifted memberships. I just heard that recently. It seemed like that they found, but like usual, you don't know what's true. You see these reportings out there, and it turns out not to be accurate. So I don't know if they found more foreign DNA, or is it still just the same DNA that they were referring to that they found inside the house early on. I think forensic or IGG is going to solve this case. And I think it'll be in the next couple weeks. They're going to have names, and they're going to they're looking for a name that absolutely has no reason to be in there. Right. Okay, you guys, we need 2 more gifted memberships. Thank you. If anybody has the ability to, that would be great. We have a challenge up there where Coco Love will donate 5 by herself if just 5 of you do 1 by yourself. Hey, there you go. Alley Cake. Thank you. The Guthrie family has made multiple public pleas for information surrounding their missing mother. Okay, let's see what hit. Well, that's true, isn't it? There's no evidence that she's not alive, and she was alive leaving the house. Okay, now it might be sort of ominous if you want to look at it that way. That wow, look at that. Betty Black did 5, which equals the last one. So that's pretty good. It's ominous that there's blood, expirated blood, right? I mean, that's not good news, but she's alive right there, right? And that's it. And I even said that in the video. I guess that's, means that there's a possibility she's still alive out there. Hey, thank you so much, Coco Love. And also thank you very much, Betty Black, Alley Cake, Twin Thing, Miss Kyla, Wild Bill Lossman. Yeah. But anyway, hey, Bruce Holdaway, thanks again for the pen. It's the best pen I've got, man. It's actually really cool. It's sturdy. It's like looks like a miniature gun or something. Although it's just, I was actually nervous. I was like, well, do I really know Bruce Holdaway that well? If I cock this back and I press this trigger, will this miniature, like right here, see? I don't know if you can see it, but if I go, like that, and then I press the button, will something happen? Yeah. Well, maybe we can work on something, Bruce, for some sort of, special freak edition or something. How about that? I don't know if you'd be interested in that, but that'd be kind of cool to have a whole bunch of freaks that have your pen. I mean, I do, I have these pens that I order off of a thing, but yours are way more, there's more passion behind them for sure. They didn't come out of a machine in China, Well, sweet. All right, cool. Let's we'll just talk about it. I mean, I bet it'd be pretty spendy to buy these, I would imagine. I don't know what the price would be, but we can figure something out. Hello. Okay. So anyways, this is a Nothing Burger article there. Let's see if this one has something. Today wasn't one of their bigger news days. Okay. There was nothing, I mean, if you probably didn't even drove, I guess, down into the border of Mexico and asked Mexican people, hey, have you heard of Nancy Guthrie? Yeah. Yeah. Let's see. Each one is unique, huh? So which part do you put on the lathe? Bruce, what part goes on the lathe on that thing? So the red part? Because the rest of it seems like it's, you know, like a mold type thing. So you lathe you get the red part to fit in there? Yeah. All right, here we go. Nancy Guthrie update, search now in third week. The desperate search for Nancy Guthrie is now in its third week, with investigators hoping for a break in the baffling case that appears no closer to solving. The Pima County Sheriff's Department said Wednesday that it is pursuing genealogical leads based on partial DNA recovered from the 84-year-old's home. Partial DNA, yeah? In the Catalina foothills north of Tucson. DNA recovered from gloves found about 2 miles away turned up no matches in the FBI national database. And as soon as that didn't happen, you put that one on. I mean, I would just do it simultaneously, but it's not as important as the DNA in the house. Hey, thanks, Betty Black. Would a Wi-Fi jammer cause a camera to disconnect? Well, maybe. I guess if it made it so that the camera is still active. It's just not able to upload anything. I just don't think that was used in this case. It looked like, I mean, why would he even bother with the breaking it off or trying to cover it with a weed if he was going to use a jammer, right? He would just turn the jammer on and call it a day. He wouldn't have to worry about it at all at that point, right? If that worked that way. It said DNA recovered from the gloves found about 2 miles away turned up no matches in the FBI national database. The gloves appeared to match those worn by the suspects seen in the video taken from Guthrie's doorbell camera on the morning she was reported missing. The sheriff's department also said it was working with Walmart to identify who purchased the backpack worn by the person in the footage, as well as the manufacturers of Guthrie's pacemaker, in an effort to locate in advance. Thank you again up there, Betty Black. All members of the Guthrie family, including Nancy Guthrie's adult children and their spouse, have been cleared. Let's see, the gloves appear to match. The sheriff's department also said it's working with Walmart. Yeah. And let's see, it says, and then he changed it though. So like he says that there, and then after that he said, well, we haven't identified them as suspects. Well, that's different than saying they're cleared now. If you got weed, why use a jammer? A little different from, I guess the red part starts at 1 inch, and then you have to keep probably lathing it down until it fits right perfectly into the, yeah, that's pretty cool. I wonder how you'd get like a logo on there. Maybe put that later, you know, just a little stick. I don't know how that would work. Or I don't know, maybe you have burning tools where you type in freak, you just burn in freak or something. The shoe on the guy with no back, it's the same guy. Yeah. You don't have to say the guy. The guy with no backpack or gun are different than, you don't know that. They look the same to me. Yeah. It's the same person and everything. Let's see. Nancy Guthrie, the mother of today's show co-host Savannah Guthrie, was last seen at 9:45 p.m. Well, it's actually 9:48 on January 31st when she was dropped off. Let's see if this one's never returning. Well, that's kind of a sad story if that's true. Savannah Guthrie may never return to the Today Show. Well, if they don't find her, she might not. And as she continues to grapple with her mother's disappearance, insiders say the 54-year-old has been off air since Nancy Guthrie's disappearance on February 1st, and insiders told Status News that they believe the move will be made permanent. There's no way Savannah's coming back, an executive told the outlet. I can't imagine she would even want to. Well, what a stupid statement that is, if that's what was said. There's no way Savannah's coming back, an executive said. I can't imagine she would even want to. So that means you're not even considering if she wanted to or not. You're saying she's not coming back. I mean, if that's what this means, right? It's like you're saying, yeah. I mean, basically it's somebody, an executive determining that you don't want her to ever come back. So you say, yeah, there's no way she's coming back. And I tell you what, I don't even think she'd want to come back, So that means you're deciding to do that, right? I don't know. Maybe. This follows news that genetic genealogy will be used to trace any DNA inside. Yeah, we've been saying this from the very beginning. With one expert confidently stating that he will be identified with the new technology and that the suspect ought to be concerned right now. Guthrie has not publicly commented on her future as an anchor, right? But her executive sure did. There's no way Savannah's coming back now. I tell you what, though, even basically you could say right here, even if she wanted to, Savannah was always the glue on the show, and without that, the whole paradigm of the morning anchor team as a family, that connective tissue has just been ripped out. Well, why don't you let her figure it out if she wants to come back? Coda returned to the show, whatever the hell the name of that is. Coda, or Hoda Code, returned to the show to fill Guthrie's absence, but the network hasn't made any permanent moves. Well, it sounds like they're pretty much have, though, right? The Daily Mail has reached out to the NBC for comment. Other sources said Guthrie had already been moving towards leaving the show after she hosted the network game show based on Wordle. The executive said Carson Daly, Willie Geist, and Laura Jarrett would be potential replacements. Yeah, whatever. And then down here it says, we believe that we may have some DNA there that may be our suspect, but we won't know that until the DNA is separated, sort of out of maybe. So when you say separated, that's difficult. If you have a mixture, it makes it a lot harder. Maybe admitted to CODIS, maybe through a genetic genealogy, Pima County Sheriff Chris Nano said. CODIS, which stands for Combined DNA Index System, is an FBI database that has 19 million offender DNA profiles and more than 1 million forensic profiles. And those are other, so you put criminals in there that have been in prison, and then you also put in unidentified perpetrators. I think you might even put in unidentified people too. Yeah, that's one I was looking at the end of the show last night, guys. This one right here, this crazy story. Horrifying story behind final photo of smitten mom, her boyfriend, and a freezer discovery. I think that was the one. There was something I was looking at last night where that's a different story. That's a different one. Where somebody put, he put this girl in I think that was his girlfriend or wife or something, and she was found inside of a freezer. I don't know what the hell. I was looking at the end of the show. All right, what do we got here? What do we got? Oh, well, look at that. Wild Bill Wastman has a challenge. Well, that's very cool. Look at that. So if we do 5 more gifted memberships by random people, 1 each, then he'll donate 5 all by himself. Pretty damn generous there by you guys. And Betty Black says, thank you. Do you think the Google searches for Nancy's house and Savannah's salary that were mentioned, I think that's total bullshit. I don't mean to swear, but Where from the phones they the whole thing is garbage. It's a garbage story. Yeah, don't even buy into it at all. It's not legit. Betty Black. I'm just letting you know. We went over that last night. Hey, look at that. Betty Black just gifted one. Yeah, the story about the Google Trends is just a ridiculous story. It has no investigative worth of any kind at all. There's no way to determine anybody who may have searched up a term. It's never the same on everybody's computers. It's not accurate. We did all the tests last night. Hey, thanks, Bruce Holdaway. Turn the red down, the sand it down. Then I use 3 polishes to get it perfect. Every pen is different. I can also turn wood. Oh, sweet. Even wood from around the world. I don't even have a website up yet. It's all word of mouth. Hey, cool. Awesome. Hey, thanks, Noreen Gardner. So we're looking for 4 more gifted channel memberships. Maybe Noreen's 5 counts as one. So 3 more gifted channel memberships. And yeah, I think I might be taking calls in a little bit. Or it's not really calls, it's a link. Let's see. Pima Sheriff reality TV show, not filming. Yeah, I guess he's in some sort of reality show. And you know what that's going to be? That this whole thing was a setup to have her abducted so he could find her to boost the ratings of his show. Watch. I guarantee you that's going to be a theory out there. Because I already know how the conspiracy nutters think. Hey, thanks, Bruce Holdaway. All right, so I'll bake the I'll just get the phone lines open now. Or it's not really a phone, it's just a link that you go on to StreamYard. Well, let's try to get to this challenge first. So we got 3, and we need 2 more gifted memberships of some sort. American Idol was it? What do you think about that, Betty Black? I'm just saying the whole thing about Google Trends. I went up and I mimicked exactly what they said, but you got to ask yourself, why did they remove the words from they like blurred out what searches they did. There's no reason to do that. It would be something like, what is Savannah Guthrie's salary? What do you need to block that out? And the other one was, what is the address of Nancy Guthrie? Well, why do you need to block that out either? It's just a phrase. It's not doxing anybody or anything. And somehow we don't get to see that, so we can't replicate precisely what they did. It's pretty crazy. All right, so I guess we just need one more there. All right, here is we're taking calls now on this case, because I thought last night was pretty interesting. It was I like, talking to different people about what they think's going on, etc. But let's try to get that last one in there for this round of challenges. And there it is, Saturn Dreaming of Mercury. Thanks, Saturn Dreaming of Mercury. So there is the link up there. You can tell us what your thoughts are. Maybe even the video. Thanks again, Wild Bill Wassman. You can, if you watch my video today, if you have any thoughts on that, let me know. You can, let me know if you think of something differently. I try to be really careful with it, though. I felt like I used all the facts. It seems to be the most logical. If you come up with a different theory, make sure it's more logical than what I did. don't come up with something that's, quote, possible, but way less likely. That's where it gets really frustrating. Yeah, I just think it's possible, Gray, that, there's this other guy and he flashlighted him down the road and he drove. Well, maybe, I don't know. I'm actually not even sure there's more than one person here. I used to think there was, but I think Nancy was still able to walk. So I think she was able to get out at gunpoint, was forced to walk out. Hey, thanks, Ducky Pam. What I want to know is what happened to January 11th. That put the thought in this dude's mind here's the thing is we don't even know if that's true though, right? It's in a super chat that somebody made. And we do know that law enforcement did want to have camera footage. It seems like what I remember them saying is between 9 and 11 p.m. on January 11th and like January 31st, which is interesting. And so he could have just been preparing to break in someday. He's just looking around, trying to, kind of observe what he needs to deal with. But I mean, if this is the 11th and he saw the camera there, how come he was so ill prepared when he got there? He grabs a plant to put on top of it. Wow. That's no genius there. No, the ransom was never paid. Yeah, that's bogus though, Ducky Pam. That's what I'm trying to tell you. Yeah, People Magazine, all these people, they're absolutely clueless. I mean, it's the same thing on genealogy. They are absolutely clueless. I understand what you're saying, Ducky Pam, but the whole thing, the Google Trends myth that is being perpetuated in like 3 or 4 of the last cases is just the big ones is ridiculous. It's not real. It doesn't help do anything. There's no value at all to it. It doesn't show a name. It shows it may possibly a search, but then I've tried to recreate the same thing and get nothing. And I've got a different date even. And the whole January 11th thing is a fraud too. They just invented it because this little peak goes up there. And it's actually February like 1st to the 10th or something where the peak is, not January 11th. But they just said that out loud. They wrote it down. Oh, yeah. I can see, Erica, I can see you over there, but your devices are not connected, it says. I'm not sure what that means. It looks like you'll need to connect your mic or something. Do you think Nancy lived past February 1st? Well, I mean, I don't think, like my feeling is that she's not alive, but I have a feeling she could be. So at least I have some hope for that. Like, I'm not like, oh, there's absolutely no way she's not alive. I think there's a possibility she's still alive because she was alive when she left the house, so that's important. You know what I'm saying? Oh, there you go.
Hello?
Yeah, hold on. I got to get rid of the echo. No, it's on. Okay, yeah. How's it going?
Hey, how are you?
This is Erica. What are you called out there?
I am Eloquent Pirate.
Eloquent Pirate. There you go.
I just, first of all, want to start off by saying that Gray is the only podcaster that gives back. And I've experienced that and want to let people know that as judgmental as these crazy people can be, you're the only one that I know that will match a charity that you're giving to.
Yeah, we try to. Well, I'll just say like if you guys donate 300 or something. Maybe I'll do 500, which is really like, and then at the end of the month, I just take a huge part of the income and donate it. But if you don't know, Erica here is the mother of Mercedes Vega. We've gone over that case, and it should have been a case that was a hell of a lot bigger, but it just never, for some reason, I don't know. It's weird because even it did get bigger. Like she was on Nancy Grace one time and things like that. But it just never got where like everybody's like, oh my God. And then that sort of forces law enforcement to put a little bit more effort.
I think that might change when we hit the 3 people facing the death penalty, possibly. But I did have a question about the case of Nancy Guthrie. As much as I appreciate the fact that law enforcement is paying attention, I was wondering if maybe she was hard of hearing, possibly. It's something that's kind of bothered me. Maybe she didn't hear them break in, or
Well, didn't people say she had hearing aids or something? I thought I
I
heard that.
don't know. I've been trying to find that information out.
Yeah, I don't know. I thought we talked about that on one of the shows, and I don't remember what somebody said.
Hi, Bruce.
Somebody had a reply in there for that.
Yeah. So if she had a hearing aid, I don't know if she took it out when she went to bed, but if the door was left open in the back, or even if it was forced entry, she might not have heard it if she was charging her hearing aid.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like she didn't have it in, like she put her watch, maybe she puts her watch on the counter, charges that, puts her cell phone there right next to her and charges it. And then maybe she takes her, hearing aid out and just goes to sleep, probably makes it a little bit like, like wearing earplugs or something.
Right. After drinking her chamomile tea.
Yeah, the chamomile tea, yeah.
Thanks for mentioning that yesterday. I appreciate how much you're doing for this. And I do live in Arizona, and my parents live in the same community as Nancy. And they have that dark night, no lights for the observatory that's up above them. And it is a little bit creepy and a little bit scary when it comes to driving around because everything looks the same.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. You'd have to have been there a million times to be able to figure out how to get out of there. So if he was there earlier, I think he just was there sort of, becoming familiar with it, driving around, scoping it out, planning.
So what do you think about the fact that he came up, kind of scoped it out, and then sat back? Do you think he actually drove away? And
yeah, well, the thing is, like some people are saying this image here is from January 11th. I'd have to hear law enforcement tell me that to actually totally believe it. But in my theory, it's sort of irrelevant because when he shows up to the front door and tries to put the plant on there, I think that's right around 147-ish. Like probably not too long after that is when he removed the camera off the front of the door, I think. I think at 147, that's when it disconnected from the network. So what's interesting about that, it disconnected from the network, and that's 147. So he must have moved it far enough away where it's not connected anymore to the Wi-Fi, because apparently, unless he smashed the camera itself, because it's a Wi-Fi thing. So it was still working. As soon as you removed it, I played a video. If you watch my video I put out today, let's see, it was Megan Kelly had her producer buy the exact same camera, put it on a door, and then they even showed him on the camera, the surveillance camera, trying to take it off and stuff, and he showed how to take it off, and then eventually he just ripped it off, and the camera still was functioning. You know, it was still recording video as he's walking away with it because it's connected to the Wi-Fi.
And
But the
he had
thing is,
no clue.
but in his case, this one, they say it was disconnected from the Wi-Fi. So maybe, you know, I was thinking it's possible if he had had it in his pocket or something and went into the house, it would still record black video and audio and upload
Oh,
to
that's
the
so
cloud.
creepy.
But it sounds like they're saying stuff like it disconnected from the Wi-Fi. So if that's true, then, you know, he either took it really far away really fast or he broke it. You know, he like literally smashed it into pieces somewhere that they're not aware of. I don't know. It wasn't sitting there on the ground though.
So the law enforcement here in Arizona obviously isn't always the greatest. But if he had taken it and put it in his pocket and that recorded, that's even, I mean, wouldn't it have recorded her voice
Well,
or
that's the part that I
um
was kind of guessing at in my video. Is like, wouldn't that be crazy if he had it in his pocket and it was still somehow connected to the network when he brought it back into the house? Maybe, let's say he goes in there and it's in his backpack or pocket. Now it's reconnected to the Wi-Fi. Maybe it recorded video and audio that they have to go back, because if you remember the video that they put out there that we see, that's not even actual video because they didn't have a subscription. So they had to go out to Google and they found these files out in the cloud, and then sort of had to back engineer them and turn them into videos because they hadn't paid their subscription. So
that
I mean,
is so impressive that they were able to do that.
and it's also a nightmare. Like, just if they'd been paying the subscription, wouldn't it be crazy?
What information we would have.
Yeah, I mean, this would just there'd be so many videos, it'd be mind-boggling. I mean,
My
other
heart
than prior,
just
anyways.
Yeah, my heart just goes out to this family. I know how difficult it is to rely on law enforcement for information. And then, of course, they were targeted as well. And I, their mother is 84 years old. And I know my mom's 86 and she lives in the same community. And it terrifies me.
Mm-hmm.
I know how evil people can be, and it's really scary. And I hope that they are able to look into these doorbell cameras and kind of do it from behind, like back, from the back and see what maybe happened. But it doesn't seem like that's going to be anything that happens soon.
Yeah. Well, I'm just there's other cameras. The camera that picked up the motion in the back. There was a 212. There was a camera that picked up motion, but it also didn't send the video. But I wonder if it made a video maybe, but maybe it got written over. I guess that's the key. See, that's where the problem was. Since they didn't have a subscription, it actually did send what would have turned into a video to the cloud, and then the next motion might start writing over that spot, and then the next motion would write over that one. But if you had a subscription, each one of those recordings would have turned into its own video, not written over each other.
That
So
makes sense.
that's what they're working with.
Yeah.
And Sherry C had a good point up there. She said maybe he removed the camera and then just took the battery out. That would immediately stop the camera from sending a signal to Wi-Fi and then disable the camera completely. So there you go.
Yeah.
And there
I
might
guess
not
that
be
makes-
recording in his pocket.
Yeah. Unfortunately.
Yeah. But maybe that would be pretty crazy if they had something like that.
Wouldn't it be? I wish this poor family that is being tortured, wondering where their loved one is, and having no clue. And I know how hard it is to get information from law enforcement, but it sounds like law enforcement doesn't have anything.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I think they might have a lot more than we know that they have. Yeah. I don't know if you remember the Koberger case, but everybody's like, oh, law enforcement is lost. They don't know what the hell they're doing. And they already had Koberger's name for about 3 weeks, before, maybe a couple weeks prior to that.
Well, I
Yeah.
accuse law enforcement of not being aware of
Yeah.
my situation either. Turns out they did, but it's it's a little frustrating and sad to know that the family is waiting and waiting, and I understand where they're coming from, and they're trying to be quiet and they're trying to do what law enforcement is telling them to do, but they're super enraged at the same time. And my heart goes out to the Guthrie family, and I I
Yeah.
know that feeling.
Yeah. Yours was probably obviously worse, and it was like the first 6 months there was nothing happening, and then finally you guys decided to go do public, and then it seems like about 6 months after that things started to happen, and then all of a sudden, like 4 or 5 months after that or so, I don't know if I'm getting the right amount of time, but then an arrest was made finally. It just took
Yeah,
forever.
that's pretty fair, but yeah, I kept being told by people, and I'm wondering if the Guthrie family is experiencing this too. But I kept being told, be quiet, let the police do their job, let them investigate, don't say anything, shut up, keep your feelings to yourself. And that was what happened to me. And then eventually I said, I'm done. I don't care what anybody says. I'm breaking out of this prison you're all putting me in, and I'm gonna speak. I love that Savannah has spoken for her mom, but she's not um in a good place, which you can tell by looking at her.
Yeah.
I can see the grief, uh, and I don't know how much hope that she has, but I'm glad she has at least the platform to be able to express her feelings. And I'm really grateful that people are standing behind them. And, it's like America's grandmother.
Yeah. 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 It just seems like a lot of people turn it into some wild conspiracy stuff and take away from that feeling, you know. I think I wish there was more. I don't know. I guess the more coverage, the better, But there's some people. It just seems like it's a distraction. Some of the stuff people do, so it makes people start forgetting that element that you just said, like America's grandmother.
Yeah, and I don't even think it's just America anymore. I think it's international. And I love that for them. I love that they're getting the
Yeah.
support and the resources.
Yeah. And like maybe when during your case you might not have felt that they were doing that, but obviously they were investigating behind the scenes. It just probably you didn't have that feeling that maybe the Guthries feel like the whole country is behind and helping, and you might not have that feeling, right?
Well, no, of course I don't have that feeling, but I do support them and I am behind them. As a person that's experienced something very similar, I am behind them more than anyone who couldn't relate to what I've gone through. But I just think I'm wondering if they chose Savannah's mom because they thought it might kind of be a little bit quiet and that Savannah would pay and it wouldn't become a national news situation, and
Mhm.
that they thought they were just going to get their payment. And then it did become that, and then they were overwhelmed.
Well, the only thing,
with-
well, I think it was more like they were gonna try to they wanted to do a ransom, but she passed away, and they had no way to prove it. Because here's the thing: why did they go to TMZ right out of the chute if they wanted it to be like just try to get the ransom? And
the
they
last
you know,
person I would go to for a ransom is TMZ.
right? And so why they went to them just for a public sort of, hey, look at us, we're on TV, because there's no other reason to go to TMZ. You would just send something to the family or the FBI, whatever, whoever you want to send it to, and just say,
Right.
hey,
And they had no contact. They had no identifying place to send the ransom. So you go to TMZ, that's your first option? Makes no
yeah,
sense to me.
yeah, no, because I don't think that I'm not even sure they were expecting a ransom. And I think that second, like when Savannah Guthrie did that one, she really was saying, hey, we understand what you were saying, that our mother is not alive anymore. We'd like to have her back with us so we can celebrate her life. And we don't want
Sorry.
to, and
I
I think,
lost you. I lost you for a minute.
okay, well, I'm just going to continue forward because everybody else could hear it. And
Yeah.
then it was, let's see, we want to celebrate our life with you or with her. We want to have her back so we can celebrate our life with her. And then she said, and that would give us peace. And that's very important to us. And we'll pay you money for that peace. So really what she was saying in that thing is, we know that our mom isn't alive based on what you're writing. We are willing to pay you money to tell us where we can find her so that she can be here when we celebrate her life and we can bury her and have peace. And that's important to us. So we're willing to pay you. That's what she was saying in that one, in my opinion. And so that was to
I
one of the first two kidnaps. Yeah, go
I
ahead.
1000% agree. I believe that they had realized that she was no longer alive and that all they wanted to do was have their mother's body back so they
Mhm.
could celebrate her life.
Yeah.
It seems the most acceptable situation. When someone is missing, I'm for one thing that I'm grateful for is that my daughter was never missing. She was dead, but I was able to hold her body in a body bag. Um, but when someone is missing, it's so much more torture.
Yeah, for a long period of time, forever, really. If you never find a person's body that's missing, you spend the rest of your life with no peace and just in limbo. So I think people are willing to pay just to have a body back. And I think that's exactly what she was saying in that one. That means the two original ransom letters in TMZ did get one of those. The FBI apparently still thinks those are really interesting and came from somebody that knew something. So we haven't seen them. We haven't gotten able to read them to wonder why, but they were really interested in those. And it seemed like they took those seriously, and that's why she responded that way, in my opinion.
Yeah, somebody just said, how would they realize she's no longer alive if they don't even know if the ransom notes are legit?
They just believed what the person said to them, and they said, and apparently they're not giving proof of life. So she said, "We understand." I mean, I don't know, man. I don't know how you can take that one video that Savannah put out and not realize that's what she's saying. To me, it's so obvious and clear. So I think people just aren't listening carefully or don't know, I don't know, how to just, I mean, I can just tell you, I am 100% certain that's what she was saying in that video. I know
that Savannah hopes that her mom is still alive, but I know she's probably a realist and understands that she's not. And I got that from when she said, we just want her back so we can celebrate.
Yeah. Yeah. So there's people in here that just don't seem to get it. They're typing in, that's not what she's saying, Gray. That's not what you're wrong. Okay. She might be saying after that, in that video, that is what she was saying. Now, after that, sure, it's possible that she thought differently. Maybe they said, you know what, we're starting to not believe this is a real. And then you might wonder if she's still alive, because she was still alive when she left the house. We don't have any evidence that she's not alive. But maybe they, I guess when you're asking somebody for proof of life and you believe they have knowledge and they're not giving you the proof of life, which is really easy to do, then you might think that they're not alive anymore because you're only, and so they actually said, we're willing to pay you just for you to tell us where she is,
Yeah, of course. I mean, if I didn't know where Mercedes was, I would have paid every dime I had to find out where she was. Fortunately, well, maybe fortunately for me, she was found and I was able to know that she was gone. But I don't
imagine what you'd feel like right now if you had never seen her, like she just disappeared and you never got a resolution to it. At least it's still horrendous. I mean, when you lose a child, like my mom took 5 years before it was even sort of slightly back to normal again. And so you lose a child, it's devastating. But imagine if right this minute you wouldn't even be here, you wouldn't be doing anything. You'd be sitting at home, curled up in a ball, and just wondering where the hell she was.
I wouldn't be sitting at home curled up in a ball. I would be out going everywhere trying to find my child. But I'm just saying in general.
Yeah,
like, but I understand what you're saying. Like it's not. I mean, I freaking sorry. I don't want to curse. Hate to say, I am grateful for the fact that my daughter was burned alive and that they had her body. Because I can't imagine what the Guthries are going through, not knowing whether or not their loved one is alive or dead. Me in my situation, I would have been out, like I'd be out right now with a metal detector or whatever, going through every part of the desert I could possibly think
of. But I mean,
of.
I'm just saying, like, I think there's a point though where it's like I cover these cases a lot, and you go through all the articles over the years, and people, they still look and hope, but you just see them, they're just a wreck sitting in a corner. They're kind of like how Savannah is right now. That's how she is. They are forever. It's crazy. I mean, you're still hoping, trying, but you're just sort of in this. If somebody's missing and they're presumed dead, it's hard to keep moving.
I saw her in that last video. It was so heartbreaking.
Yeah.
I can see the pain in her, and I can see the pain in a lot of people when they're grieving.
I have to. Yeah.
Okay. You gotta go.
No. I gotta pause and respond to somebody in here.
Okay.
Yeah. See, somebody, this Mantle Low King. There's trolls that are showing up, and they say there is no corroboration that she came home. Only the word of. You're wrong. You're wrong. There's a cell phone and a watch and her pacemaker are all connected. Law enforcement knows exactly where her phone was at all times. For her pacemaker to continue communicating with it, it has to be near it. So they know she was at home. And if they could verify that she was not at home, then they would have arrested the guy that drove her home already. Okay, because he said he drove her home and then she wasn't at home, they would already arrest him. That would be probable cause. That didn't happen. She was home. I'm sorry for your ignorance. All right, now go ahead. What were you saying? I had to get that before it disappeared off the screen.
No,
Yes.
yeah. I was just saying that I this is such a weird situation. It's not a normal situation. And it's not something that you can go to your therapist with and be like, oh, well, my mom was kidnapped and she's being held and we don't know if she's alive or dead. It's so unfair for this family. And it just disgusts me because I understand the pain that they're going through, but I wonder, I mean, I love the fact that everyone is coming together, the military, the FBI, everybody is getting together to try to find Nancy. And I love that and I think it's wonderful. But I do question whether or not they have the ability to actually find her.
Yeah, I mean, I think the more investigating, the better the chance. My problem is why don't they do this for, Joe Smith missing person? Man, maybe they'd
Well,
find that person too. Instead, it's just, oh, wow, it's somebody really famous. So we're going to send 500 people. And,
Well, I think what we're being shown right now is that even if you're not Joe Smith, but you're somebody who's famous, that their resources are limited because we don't have an answer. And they have put everything. I mean, I sat there and said, where's the FBI? Where's the military? Where's God? Where is everyone? And they're getting everything that they can, and no one can figure out where Nancy is. And to me, it kind of shows how limited their resources actually are.
Are you still there?
I'm here. Can you
Oh,
hear
yeah.
me?
Yeah. You just stopped right in the middle of, you had the tone that you were going to continue a sentence.
Oh, sorry.
You tricked me. That was pretty good. So I was walking down the
You're
street
welcome.
and this is what it was like. Hey, I was walking down the street and
Well, maybe it did cut off, but I was
well,
just
maybe.
saying that because all of these resources are being put into her case is a significant detail that they don't have the resources to actually find a missing person or someone who's been kidnapped.
Mhm.
And I mean, I was mad that I didn't get that, but now that I'm watching this, I'm realizing it probably would not have made a difference.
Yeah, I mean, it seems like your guys were actually on a decent path for a while, but it seems like it took them a while to get to that path, even though it was sort of obvious. Like if you guys had told me early on, like I don't know, or you didn't even know, I guess, but she was supposed to testify in a case against one of the people accused of her murder. I would have just immediately said, "Oh yeah, that's exactly what that is," because we've seen that so many times. And so I bet you law enforcement was sort of on that because they knew about that, and it just maybe they weren't hustling though. It's kind of a slow process. I don't know. I don't
Yeah.
know what they were doing.
And watching them get together and hustle and put together every resource they have to find Nancy, and the
Right.
fact that they haven't found her
Yeah.
is just
Yeah. Well, what the problem is in this case is just the environment that they're in this little place with, no, the dark skies area where nobody has street lights. There's no street lights. Nobody has ambient light. The cameras that they do have for surveillance are blocked by bushes filming the street. This right here is a nightmare. And then the fact that she didn't have her bill paid for her Nest camera. I mean, my God, it's just.
Was it her bill wasn't paid, or it was just something
Well,
she
I could see it being something like she had it for, let's just say she had it for years, and then her credit card maybe expired and she got a new one but never updated that one. So it could be just something simple like that.
That's interesting that it happened at that time, because
Well, it might have been for a long time.
Well, was it maybe a situation where she just used it where she could see it on her phone and it wasn't something that she had subscribed to?
Yeah, well, I mean, it sounded like she let it, like the subscription lapsed or something.
Oh.
It's just unfortunate. But even, I guess, in this case, even if it hadn't, the guy was still removing the one in the front. And I guess it's the one in the back that might have had a video of them going in. And it would just sort of be something similar, though, right? It'd be a guy wearing a backpack trying to get in to a door. Unless there was some cameras that were hidden in the house that would have absolutely filmed something. I don't know. It's just one of these things where I don't know how much it would have helped. The part that's not helping is that everybody has all these trees in front of their house, and then there's a street. You don't even know you have neighbors, but there's houses right next to each other. So
Yes,
the cameras aren't
my
filming.
parents live in that neighborhood, and you can't see a single house, and there are no lights whatsoever. And you drive down the road, and you don't even know there's a house there. It's everything is supposed to blend into the landscape to make it, extremely perfect, and you don't focus on the houses, you focus on the mountains, or the desert landscaping. But I've driven up and down that street, and it's extremely dark, and I worry about my mom, who's there, and I wonder how much surveillance, well, I don't know if I should use the word surveillance, but how much her family was focused on her well-being, thinking that, well, you had mentioned that maybe she had said, I'm not going back home or whatever, but when I can't get a hold of my mom, I call the neighbor. And they're like, yeah, she's over here having margaritas, I'm like, oh, great. I found her. But I don't know. It's so difficult, and I feel bad for the family, because how do you know who's supposed to be watching those cameras at that time?
Yeah, they
It's
made it
not
sound
like
like there was a camera like in her room. I remember at the beginning, and maybe there is one in there. I don't know, but the camera that picked up motion at 212 is outside, based on what the sheriff said about, maybe it was an animal that set it off. So there could be a camera inside, and maybe if there was, maybe it was for somebody else to look at in case something was happening. But again, it wasn't a subscription.
84. She's 84, and right, 84, and obviously her family was concerned. And do you know if she had any animals, like a dog or?
Well, she used to have a dog. I don't know if it was her dog. There's all these different stories that it was somebody else's dog that she's in a picture with, like a Labradoodle or something.
Okay. So most likely she did not. And she felt safe where she was, because it feels like a very safe community, and she didn't think twice. I'm wondering if they have like a picture of her bed that she was actually in bed and that had gotten out of bed. I
Yeah.
know that,
There,
yeah, if
I don't think there's anything inside the house. What it really is just they have her cell phone data. Her cell phone probably stopped moving at 11 o'clock because it's right next to her bed. And her watch, she may have still been wearing her watch. I don't think she was. She took her watch off too. And the watch being right next to the cell phone would, she wouldn't have to be wearing her watch anymore because she's right next to her cell phone while she's sleeping. So while she's sleeping, her pacemaker is connected to the phone, and it was probably just doing really well. Everything was normal until 2:13 or so. When somebody comes in, her heart rate probably went way up. They've got all this on there. They know she's at home because the cell phone indicates that she's at home. Her heart pacemaker is still connected to her phone, and that's a kind of a unique circumstance to be able to tell people exactly where she is or isn't because she has that pacemaker. It's sort of like if somebody always had a watch on, no matter what, and it was only a Bluetooth watch that only connected to your phone. It had no, other than that, it has no information being sent to it. And it'd be sort of similar. And then you're walking around and you get 40 feet from your phone, and all of a sudden it disconnects. And they can tell on your phone when that watch disconnected from the phone. And so that would be similar to a pacemaker that connects to the phone. And then as soon as your body gets too far away from one of the objects that can communicate with it, then it stops. And that was at 2:28, which is likely just down into the driveway, because apparently you have to be within like 10 feet or so, 4 to 10 feet away from your phone. And that's why wearing a watch is great, because it extends the distance. You can probably be 40 feet from your phone with the watch on, or 50 feet or 60, whatever it is, and it would still communicate with the phone. But she had both off. See, there's so many bad things here. Her phone is
it would
off.
be so interesting to find out that information
Mhm.
on her watch. And I hope, well, maybe they can recover it. I hope they can.
Yeah, I hope so. But yeah, we got somebody on hold over here, but
All right, I'm
it's
out.
always great talking to you.
out. All right, you too.
Well, yeah.
Love you, Gray.
Love you
ya.
too.
Right,
Have a
bye.
good one. Bye-bye. Erica. Yeah, she's a nice person. Right. But hey, guys, if you're out there, if you could please help support the channel. You notice how, like, during that whole time, we just absolutely got crushed. We were doing well, and you guys just went, yeah. So what we're trying to do is we got to keep things moving along this month. So we've got another challenge by Wild Bill Wassman. Now, it'd be nice if some of you, the other people, would do something like that, because Wild Bill, this is a second or third one he's done on the show here. And, he's saying if 5 different people gift 1 membership, he'll go donate 5. Okay. And my show relies on the people watching. And that's how, over the years, from the income from the channel, we've donated $284,000 to various true crime related charities, as well as having my channel survive. All right. So that's it. And I hate having to ask 100 times, but I wasn't at the beginning of the show, but now we're in one of those lull phases where everybody's just like, yeah, shut the hell up, Gray. We just do the damn show, and it's just not how it works. So if you guys can help support the channel, that would be awesome. Thank you. Jesus. All right. Here we go. This is Raven. What's going on again?
Hey, mate, not much. How about yourself?
Yeah, Raven had to go out of his way on my video to go, hey, Gray, actually, here's the kind of camera it is. Everybody knows, man. Who cares? It doesn't. That's an irrelevant point in the
That's
thing.
fair, but it's again, this is your fault because you demand perfection.
Yeah.
And then
Well, true, but it is true. But it's like, I know what kind of camera it is. I always say the doorbell camera, and my brain says ring. It says out loud. It says ring doorbell. That's what my brain says.
That's why it's not your fault. And my other because it is they're so ubiquitous because of Ring, right? Like it's like what do you guys call vacuum? Oh no, like we call them Hoovers in Australia, vacuum cleaner, because that's the most popular brand.
Yeah,
you know.
Yeah, what's actually a guy's name? Hoover.
Oh.
He actually lived at Smoke Tree Ranch, that ranch I was telling you guys about.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
He's an American, Mr. Hoover. Oh, you're talking. I'm confused now. That joke sucked. Okay, I'll go through them quick. So, everyone's saying that he isn't smart, and I get it, the flower thing, but he's gotten away with it so far. In this day and age, never been more eyes on you in terms of data and stuff. You know, he's still out there, so he's pretty smart.
Yeah.
Like in a way, maybe he's just very lucky.
And it's just the place he's doing this in is sort of easy. You know, nobody has a camera that's going to be filming the street or anything.
Yeah.
And, you know, you just look at, even just right now, I'm on Street View again. I mean, it's amazing. You go up in the air and there are houses everywhere. But as soon as you go down to the Street View, they almost made it so each house has almost zero visibility. There's a few, like that one's better, right? I mean, if they had a camera filming down at the street, maybe that would be good. But it's, you know.
You would feel safe. And she was there 50 years. Like, you would feel just, it's human nature. You would just be safe. And that's why she probably let the Ring camera. And see, I just did it. God damn it. The Nest camera lapse.
Hey, everybody, you hear that? Bing, 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 bing. He's busted, man.
Instant karma. Jeez Louise.
Yeah, that's exactly what that was.
Complacency, you know, like it was like anything. It's like I moved to this place. I've been here 2 years. Within 3 months, we had a break-in. Like, they broke into the front house. I'm in a granny flat at the back. And when I moved in, I put a camera up with a sign saying, "Hey, I'm recording." They went through her house. They were there for 7 hours. And she thought it was me for a while because of the timing of moving in. It wasn't me. But I was complacent. I was very active for about 2 months after that with the camera, and I just forgot about it for another, I don't know, until I saw this case. And now I have a subscription on my camera for cloud. Like, yeah, it's always recording now.
Yeah.
There's no point having cameras if they're not saving it. It's like if you go to buy a camera and have the SD card in it, what's the point if they just steal the camera? You've got no footage.
Right. Yeah. The SD card ones are stupid. You got to do the one on the cloud and then pay a subscription. They go out on the cloud, and I think they sit there for a ton of video on there. You know. Yeah.
Yeah. And I wonder who's, like, this is a passing sort of thought, but I wonder who installed the Nest cams for her, because it's from Google. It's not like Google sends texts out. Usually it's a family member.
Yeah.
Maybe there's like
they did it right. You know, all that.
Yeah.
I mean, because did you see the video? Did you watch my video? Well, you saw the video. Didn't you see the video from Megyn Kelly?
Yep.
Yeah. I mean, it looks pretty easy just to tear off, I think. Anyways, yeah, there's just like anybody with cameras out here, it's just not filming anything. If you have a camera in your house, it's worthless other than your own house, people breaking in. But a lot of times, I mean, that's really when people buy surveillance footage, or cameras, I mean, when people buy surveillance cameras, they're actually purchasing it for their own home. And it's just sort of as a byproduct sometimes in the background, a car drives by that they can identify. You ever notice that? That's what nobody goes, "Ooh, let's film the street with your home camera." Nobody does that. You film the yard, the front, and then a car might drive by and you can see it. Well, in this case, people do the same thing. They put the cameras up to film the front door, the garage area, the backyard, etc. But there's trees everywhere, all around, these shrubbery, where it blocks the streets, and you're not going to get a damn thing if in that scenario
out the front. Yeah, which is why they couldn't track the car. Because remember, they were talking about the Circle K thing early on, and usually that is, you track the vehicle. It has to get out at some point, right? Like, can't still be there.
Right.
The sheriff did say that he thinks it's local. She is local still, which I thought was interesting.
that the person's
Who knows with that guy?
You mean that the killer or whatever, the kidnapper slash killer is local?
That she is still local. That she is.
You mean Nancy's local somewhere?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But who knows with like.
Well, they must have information. I think that's the thing. I've been saying this a long time, is that the way they're searching around and looking around, it seems like they can't get her out of the area. There's like, they think that there should be footage of a vehicle leaving at a certain time in a certain place, and they can't find it, even though they have the camera. So they keep thinking that she's still in this general area here. I mean, an interesting thing to do would be to go to every single house in here and look if there's and look up and see if there's a criminal history of any kind by anybody that lives in this whole area. And, you know, give like 10 to one person, 10 to another, and you go through the whole thing, plot it out. And maybe there's something in there that involved kidnapping or burglary by somebody. And then maybe that would do something. I don't know, but it's just, I think they know that. That's the weird part, because even the people they pulled over the other day was very similar. They pulled over it's up in that same area that I've already see my red line that I got on the screen there. This whole thing. I don't know if you can. Are you still there?
Oh, sorry. Yeah, I closed on my screen. Oh, I'm back.
I have this whole red outline here, and those people from the other day that they got were inside of that same red outline that I have, because those are these main streets, and they must think, man, they never really came out of this area, and they probably were looking for people that were criminals, you know, that are inside of that. I don't know. It's weird. It's interesting.
So, like, yeah, I mean, they can eventually track that, like, something anywhere, right? Especially at that time of night, like you said, like a vehicle stands out. So interesting if they've never left that cordon, and that's why they were flying low around.
Yeah, exactly. Right. Yeah, I mean, that's the whole thing, right? They're flying in that area looking for her pacemaker. That's crazy. That means they think she's somewhere around in here. It's very interesting. And I like I've said before, they might have a vehicle that they see on cameras, but it's just through the trees. They see it moving, and then there's another camera where you might see it going somewhere, but you don't ever see it leave the area or something. You know what I mean? It's just by their investigation, it seems to have stayed generally in there. That'd be absolutely crazy, wouldn't it? if this is in this area.
She's still there. And let's say, because my thinking was, let's say you are the killer, you got Nancy alive, and you hear a helicopter hovering above your house, you're going to be like, oh my God. So maybe at that point he panics, knocks her off, but the pacemaker keeps going regardless of her being alive.
Yeah.
The other one I was going to spill. Yeah, that's very interesting. Like, I haven't heard many people talking about that, actually. What you said, like that he's still potentially in the cordon. I'm just wondering.
I think I should extend this down to the highway here. Like, go to the highway. There's this perfect little, like this main road and this main road, and then that goes up to here, and then goes around, and then it comes back down. So I think that's like inside of that would be an interesting. I mean, there is a bigger road over here, but this right here is a 2-lane road where I would think that there would have to be somebody on here along this that has a camera. But again, I mean, look they got these damn walls up here, so who the heck knows, man? I mean, there's a camera over there, so maybe.
We have no idea what the vehicle is, right? But you can, like, straight away, in my mind, narrow it down to something that she is hidden in when she's in the vehicle. Like, he can't put her in a passenger seat, because if he gets pulled over, it's like, hey, I'm not kidnapping her at all. So it has to be a van, or I guess a truck is what you guys call a truck, a ute. So, but something that she is completely hidden while driven away.
Yeah, well, it's hard to. I mean, it's hard to know what type of vehicle that was parked there, because they destroyed the camera that would have filmed their car at the front door.
Yeah. exactly. The Nest camera. So
The doorbell camera. Oh,
the
then
doorbell camera.
every time you say doorbell, then your first thought is ring. Ring doorbell, right? That's how they say that.
Oh, that's brilliant. I never even thought about it. Of course, ring the doorbell.
Yeah, well, they call it ring. Yeah, the ring doorbell cameras. That's what they used to call them. And so that's why my mind will say, oh, the ring doorbell camera, because it's like, it almost seems generic at this point.
Rolls off the tongue.
Like saying,
Nest doorbell camera doesn't.
Like saying Kleenex. You don't say, oh, yeah, I bought some nose wipes,
Oh, I've got a box of tissues. Yeah.
Yeah, right.
Okay. My second thought. So, first one was, he is kind of smart because he's gotten away with it. Savannah. So, my theory is the stalker theory again, still kind of leading into that. I did mention it in the chat quickly, but like the first messages were all the family. So, 3 family members. We had the one with the brother, right, by himself. But in those first couple, Savannah wasn't wearing makeup. And then the next messages were no family, just Savannah. Very intimate, like her with the camera right there with makeup. And I know it's sort of, whatever, makeup. But it's in the other video, it's when she's talking directly to the kidnapper. You're not alone. That's sort of, I don't know. It's that language. Remember that language was quite specific. And would she say you're not alone and you're never?
Yeah.
It's never.
Well, I
too
thought
late.
that part was pretty interesting. I didn't really think about it at first, but when we sort of revisited it, it seemed like she was saying specifically to somebody who they think might feel that way. And then, like, they know the person, like they know that they feel that way, not that it's a guess that they feel that way. It's almost like it does feel like it's a family member or somebody like that, the way they're talking. It's weird.
I see. I don't get potentially, but my first thought is it is just someone who's a lone wolf who's in over his head. And it's like, you're going to feel lonely. You're going to feel isolated. I don't know. Okay, so there's that. And then the other one, interestingly, was going to be actually, I know like the TMZ thing, they're horrible. But that did explode this case because they went there very early. And I think that's part of the reason this case is so huge. It would have been big regardless, but
I think it might have been big, a somewhat big case, even if it wasn't Savannah Guthrie or TMZ or anything, because it's just such a crazy, like, you don't hear of it very often where 85-year-old woman or 84-year-old woman gets abducted from her home and she just disappears. Normally they're found or something, not alive, but this one's just sort of moving on and on and on. I think it would have been an interesting case regardless, and it wouldn't involve all the the crazy people.
Yeah, exactly. That's never helpful. The other quick point was, I think you said, maybe you took the battery out of the camera. I quickly looked it up.
In the comments.
Yeah, so they're not removable.
Yeah, I was actually thinking it looks like one of those USB type chargers, right? So they're not.
Right. No, so I had a quick look. Lithium. Yeah.
Yeah, cool. Because on my we have the Ring cameras, and some of those have batteries in them, and then some are wired. But the battery, you can take the batteries out, charge them, and replace them. But those are chargeable, right? Yeah, I was actually thinking about that earlier today, but forgot that I even saw that.
And the Nest, there are wired Nest as well. Obviously, it's not one of those. And what was the other thing? No. Actually, potentially it disconnected because he put it in the car. So those Wi-Fi range is interesting. It is at the front door, but it's a deep set front door. So Wi-Fi range is shocking. Usually it's maybe 10, 20 meters, and it doesn't like bushes. It doesn't like structure, So potentially he just put it in the car, I think.
Also, though, I mean, but if you put it in the car, but let's just pretend for a moment that he said it's, here's the thing. They said it stopped. So I guess my theory about maybe it was recording something doesn't make any sense because They said it stopped connected. It was disconnected from the network at 1:47. That means it never reconnected to the network, and that's where you'd have subsequent recordings. Yeah, there's the logic, reason, common sense. Debunking myself. It would just be. So that means it either was broken or taken to the car and not brought back into the house.
Yeah,
that's when the 20 minutes of time is where he might have been waiting to see if a cop shows up or something. So it's right in there, and then he might have just put it in there, and then he got his then he went back. But he could have just put the camera in the car or something at that point, and it's not communicating anymore.
Could he risk though? Like, if let's say you're the man that just ripped that camera off, would you want to take that evidence back to the car with you and sit in it? Just proving my own theory now, but wouldn't you just chuck it? Maybe not. Or, I don't know.
Or
say you do,
or smash it. You just smash the damn thing. And I don't know if they seem like they don't have the camera. So did he smash it, or did he just? I don't know. See, there's so many elements that we just don't get to know the answer to. They know the answer to a lot of these things. And I remember I was listening to Cheryl. You guys ever watch Cheryl McCollum? She's an actual investigator, crime scene.
Is she the one that did the one with the girl who fell off the cliff? No.
She's on all the different the networks. She's on the network. She talks about it, and she just has some interest. What were you just referring to that? Because having me answer that next question, I lost where I was going. What were you saying right before that?
What we're talking about.
We're
talking about the camera in the car. The camera disconnecting.
I don't remember, but anyways,
doesn't matter. We don't know anything. They get to they get to know. So
that's right. That's what it was. That's what it was. She said that she really. I think she was on with Coffin Daffer, and they said, "Hey, man, it sucks not being part of the team now, but we just have to work with what we got." Because back in the day, they got to know all the stuff that we're wondering.
Makes it more interesting. That's why we love true crime, because humans like to solve puzzles, and it's it is, everyone is searching for that one little thing that might go bang.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And then the last point, very quickly, was, I'm not going to go over the case, but, the missing boy Gus and the Outback, they've potentially solved that. Anyway, ignoring that part. Very interesting part of the search, because of that property size is quarter of the size of Texas. They flew drones over it. And that's great, right? But you need a human to then view the footage and then look for a frickin' whatever it is. So it's one of the first times they've used that footage, specifically modeled it in a certain way, sent it to two different, I emailed you just before the article about it, two different AI companies that work together. And it's interesting. So they went, there were 6,000 sheep, 5,000 goats. There were 14 wedge-tailed eagles. We saw one man on a bike. We didn't find the boy, but it's they used it to spot bones on the side of a road too, in another test or case. Very interesting technology, because then there's no point having the drones if you can't then process that information effectively. But it's only useful in specific locations, I guess, like open country.
And I mean, I've seen those ones where they fly around, they look for these little white things, might be bones or something.
This is next level, apparently. It's they've really dialed in being able to identify human bone, animal bone.
Did they find him?
Well, I haven't found the body yet, no.
Mm-hmm. I remember I was thinking when we did the show, just in that short time, that it was somebody that they knew, because the footprints just sort of appeared somewhere. I mean, I'm not even sure. It didn't make sense to me.
They even thought that there was only one print maybe that they showed, and even then they were like, that could have been from weeks ago. So there's basically nothing. I still think he got, because initially both grandparents were, there and blamed, but I think one was blamed, the trans grandparent, and then the other one, but they've both been charged with gun crimes now, and they both had lawyers. So I think one just accidentally killed him, and they covered it up.
Right.
Sweet.
But yeah, but the searching technology was really interesting. Like, if you get time, that article I sent you was really could be, apparently a lot of investigators are excited about it because it's painstaking work searching those kind of places. But if you can just bang all the info, fly a drone over, drone just flies automatically. AI's got some good uses, it seems.
Yeah. That's right. All right. Well, anyways, like, do you have anything else?
No, I think that was everything. I think that Nest camera thing's interesting. Well, I did go and see one yesterday, and they are pretty flimsy. So you can see how it'd be easy just to rip off a wall.
Yeah, just rip it off.
Yeah, it just seems like the bracket's quite, and like you showed in that video, it just kind of pops off. So
yeah, maybe I'll play that again.
Well, yeah, no, definitely. And thanks for having me, Gray, and have a good night, freaks.
Oh, good night, Raven, or whatever the hell your new name is. I don't know what it is. All right, see you.
Who knows? See ya.
See you. Yeah. All right, you guys. Well, if you're out there and you have the ability to help support the channel, like Wild Bill Wassman's been doing tonight, that'd be great to get this support. We're still not at anywhere near the point where I would donate the 5 that I donate. If we got another 20, we'd need 25 more gifted memberships as a group to get to that. That's how far away we're at. So if you have the ability to, that would be great. If you think my channel's worth that. Now here's the Megan Kelly.
We had our producer Jake Whitman
I've installed the Nest doorbell.
watch.
Okay, Megan, I've installed the Nest doorbell camera on our door to the garage here.
And what's interesting is it comes with a little tab.
It's kind of cool that they actually recorded him speaking and then filmed him with 2 cameras, one being the Nest camera itself.
It's a little flat
Tab, almost like a tip of a screwdriver, really.
and that's how you remove it from the top. So you just push down and it clicks right off, sorta. There it goes.
So it pulls right off that way, and that's how you take it off to charge it, because it is battery powered. It needs to be charged every so often. There's no wires here. And you'll see this plate looks exactly like the one that you see on the house at Nancy Guthrie's house and all the news videos.
So it's the same model. And to put it back, you just click it on the base after you've charged the battery, and it's there.
So you just charge
And the
it.
question is, how do you get it off without the tab? And I was excited because you said we could smash this if we wanted to, and you'd pay for it. But you don't need to do that. You actually, just with a little bit of force, you can pull it right off. And the base is still there, undamaged.
And actually, this camera is still recording. So if I take this and throw it or put it in my bag, it's still going to be recording for a little bit longer. So I got to think there's still video of that they haven't recovered that might show
like
different
right
angle of
after
things that
it.
we haven't seen.
There's no evidence that it was damaged on the front porch. So my guess
Like right after it was removed, there might be some footage.
is it was just taken out of Wi-Fi range, and that's why it disconnected. Or they
Thanks,
could have
Andy.
turned her Wi-Fi
Hardly any
off.
views, but
But taking it off the base, like I just did, does not disconnect it in any way. It's still capturing.
That's so interesting. So that's Jake Whitman. Great job there. Taking it off the base is easy.
yeah. So I mean that I think is an absolute. That's like the best you could do, explaining how that camera can be taken off and how easy it is, etc. Right? Man, what's going on tonight, man? I best always hope that the nights aren't going to be the massive lulls, and it's just Just doesn't matter. Every night, just these crazy. They are hard to see. Yeah, yeah. Right. Okay. Anyways, I'm gonna go use I gotta use the restroom again. What the heck? Hey, thanks Annie Y and Noreen Gardner. Thank you guys. I was going to tell you guys, I made this adobo. I think I told you about it, but I was going to tell you precisely. There's this powder. I think it's on Amazon, like ADOB-O, like adobo chicken. It's like this powder. And I memorized the, it's so amazing. You take one of those iron pans, you know, those big iron frying pans, and you put a little olive oil in the bottom, then you put like 6 chicken breasts in there, and then you sprinkle that stuff all over the top of it, but you have the the stove turned on to, like, I don't know, medium high or whatever. And then I guess after you've already heated up, then you put the stuff on top of it, and then you turn it upside down and so forth until it kind of sears it on both sides of the chicken breast. And then you remove the chicken from the frying pan, and then you slice up a large onion and put it in there. And then you get, first you put a half cup of white vinegar, a half cup of soy sauce, and then a full cup of brown sugar, and then you heat it all up till it's all consistent. Then you put the onions in that, and you stir it up, let it cook for a little bit in there, just a little bit. Then you put the chicken that you've already seared the sides of, you dip it in the back first, and then you get the skin side, you dip it in, then you flip it back over so the skin side is showing on all 6 of those breasts. Then you put it in the oven at 350 for an hour and a half. Oh, man, it's crazy. And then you make white rice, put it on that. That's like, it was amazing. It was good stuff. That's all I can say. Yeah, it was good. It's kind of like really crispy skin on there, too. And then the chicken just sort of falls off the bone. Hey, Jay. We have no idea, man. I know that you want to believe that you can tell that there's a full moon in the shot. It's garbage. Whoever made that video. All right. Sorry about that. All right. Let's see. Oh, it was good. Yeah.
You can clearly see. Look at these guys. Okay, hold on. There we go. There's a full moon on February 1st. In the screenshot with the backpack, you can clearly see a shadow in the screenshot. Without the backpack, there's no shadow. Yeah, wow. Ooh, that's unbelievable, everybody. That's crazy. Not to mention, this is a completely blurry, crappy image. Now, it might be true. We just don't know. Let's see. Yeah, it's really good. It's good stuff. It wouldn't surprise me if it's on a different day. That's for sure. Maybe it was overcast on the 11th. Yeah, we just don't know for certain of anything. And it doesn't mean anything at all. So you like for example, see how you see the shadow right there, but then right there you can't really tell that well because he's not moving. You can't really tell. And plus he's a little bit further out there. And maybe in this one, the light's on that created some shadows. And another thing, where was the moon? Where was it that night? Has anybody looked that up? I think this actually has, hold on. What happens if I look around? Yeah, let's try this. What if I went back? I was playing forward. I want to go back in time. Yeah, I don't know. Oh, geez, Lisa. I wasn't asking you when the last full moon was. I bet you buy into that, too. Let's see. Nah, it doesn't indicate anything yet because that image is too blurry. I'd like to see where the moon was. Yeah, you'd have to show me where the moon was that night. Now, if you can show me that the moon happens to be right over here on the left side, west, and filming, actually more like southwest over here, going in that direction, then I'd go, okay, maybe. But you also have to realize there's trees all over this place, so who knows where the shadow's coming from on that? Nobody has any idea. It's just it's assuming too much and believing too much into something. I just want to see if there's a map. So I don't think people take the time to dig deeper. They just believe what some YouTuber told them. Let's see. The moon on February 1st in Tucson, Arizona will rise in the northeast, roughly at around 60 to 70 azimuth around sunset, and set in the west-southwest at, well, what time was that, though?
I would set though. At what time? Around sunrise. So I guess that might mean that it is over on that side. I just told you it doesn't say west. It says south-southwest. It doesn't set in the west. It's south-southwest. You got it wrong. Sorry, Jay. You'll have to try harder next time. Let's see. So yes, west is part of it, but that wasn't accurate to say just west. Still got an alert, strange man at the door, even without subscription, unless she ignored alerts. Maybe. I don't know. I'm not sure if anything, what works on the camera system app if you're not paid up. Does it do anything? So anyways, is anybody, I doubt you did. I doubt you did. Let me get this right here though. It didn't set in the west, man. I just told you where it's set. All right, so let me add. So is this John? What's going on?
Hey, Gray, how you doing?
Not too bad. What's going on?
Hey, so there was some talk about someone searching the address or the location in June, and then more recently. Are you familiar?
About what?
Someone potentially like searching the address of name.
Yeah, that's garbage. The thing on Google Trends.
Yeah, Google Trends, and that was
total garbage. Yeah,
total garbage. Okay, because it crossed my mind that they could do that, just like they can potentially go or they can go back and pull this.
Well, you think they might be able to do something with Google and do like a warrant and say, hey, we need to see if anybody in this general area looked up these certain words, but Google Trends is not a tool, nor is it useful whatsoever in determining anything.
Right.
You could try to recreate exactly. And by the way, they don't tell you what the words were that they searched.
Okay. Anyway, my other thought was, whether they keep a record where they can actually search, if somebody put that address in, because it's so dark. And I think just about everybody navigates via, GPS anymore, unless you're familiar with an area.
That's why I don't think he would have had it on. So I think he would have had to be familiar with the area and been there multiple times.
Right. And also from following tonight, I got on Google Earth myself and noticed this really isn't a neighborhood where people park on the street. So going back to where if you're staking the place out and you're going to park your vehicle somewhere, you do run the risk of somebody seeing a vehicle like parked on the side of the road when people don't.
Yeah, except like even on the street view that we've got, there's a car parked on the road though. See that?
There is. Okay.
Down there. I mean, it's like I don't know if it's that crazy that somebody might park on the road. They might just think it's somebody visiting somebody.
Yeah. Definitely.
Yeah.
Okay. Primary reason I called tonight, something that keeps sticking out to me is this guy's holster and his weapon. I find it very interesting. I mean, my first thought is this guy definitely never, in the military, or anybody who like would practice concealed carry. I don't know who. I can't think of anyone who would put their holster in that location like that, and also not have a proper holster that matches the weapon. And I think it kind of says a lot about the perpetrator to me.
I'm not really sure what you're saying. It's hard to tell what you're. Just the way he's put it on there in the front like that.
Yeah, I mean, who? First of all, if he knows he's going after an 84-year-old Nancy Guthrie, the whole purpose of maybe taking a weapon to that scene, like, do you have intentions of using it, or is it for intimidation? Is it in case you come across a neighbor? At what point do you just, hey, I'm going to go out and I'm going to hit this house tonight, but I'm not going to kill somebody. I don't want to go to jail forever. Maybe I get locked up because, I got caught. This weapon and it being out and visible, to me is very interesting.
Yeah,
You
except it was so dark out. I mean, who knows what was going in his brain? I mean, he must have thought that he was being filmed when he was messing around with that ring, with the doorbell camera, right? He must have
Right.
been. He must have been thinking that. So maybe he wanted it to be seen like that for some reason. I mean, who knows? But
That's my thought. Like, for what reason? Well, generally, you might keep a weapon concealed. Maybe even in that situation, you don't reveal it until.
well, he might have wanted it to be seen to make it look like he's right-handed. Maybe he's actually left-handed, but he wanted to make it look like he was right-handed. So he put it so it's very visible. I guess he could have just put it on the right side hip too, but maybe didn't want it to get in the way or get caught on something. So
Sure.
put it on front of it.
If I recall the video correctly, the way I see it, it's as if it's like hanging off the front of his waist. And it just seems extremely unusual. I've never seen anybody do that. If you were to be entering or exiting a vehicle, I don't think that would be a good location. Like, it would get in the way. So maybe it kind of speaks to like a total inexperience of having a weapon, or where you would think it would be convenient to move around, or something seems
I
very
mean,
off.
no, I know, but what do you want? What do you think it means? It's like we can sit there and say how weird it is over and over.
Sure.
What do you think?
So my first thought was maybe this is some guy who's down on his luck, gets out of jail, gets a Walmart backpack. He's out on his, in the night, and he wants to hit this place. But, more and more you put it together, it seems like he's familiar maybe with the location, Nancy Guthrie, and he wants to go there. So he puts this kit together, his Ozark backpack, his cheap holster, his gun, but it's not somebody who has equipment. It's something that's thrown together.
Right. Like he just goes, "Ooh, I know what to get," and he just sort of gets these things, and he's not somebody that maybe he wasn't even familiar with guns that much. You know what I mean? He just
I'm seeing there, I can't imagine he would be. Yes, it's kind of what I'm seeing.
Yeah, and it sort of
like
makes
a profile of the perpetrator. Yeah,
it makes it. Well, he actually ends up seeming like a scenario like that. He sort of appears like he's more just sort of a killer, like a serial killer kind of weirdo. That's just, hey, I want to make this, do this, and I'll be really famous. Maybe he did send those ransom notes, and he sent it to TMZ, so that everybody's talking about it, and he's just looking back, laughing, and that's what you might think of, right? Because
right?
It's so random. It's just like a guy that's not even really a criminal. He's just sort of like,
and he has a weapon in a place where it's clearly visible. Like, maybe he wanted it to be seen in that respect. Again, what he's not doing is trying to like minimize like what charges could have been brought against him, versus just like going into a house. He's clearly going into a house armed, right? So now it's armed robbery, right? He could have kept it concealed and nobody would have known he was inside the house with the gun. They just would have known there was a guy outside, right? But he clearly had this thing visible. If a neighbor was to pop up on him, was he going to run or was he going to shoot back? Having that gun out there and ready makes me think this guy's mindset of what he was doing, what he was going to do that night. Maybe he was ready to pull the trigger. And I would think a lot of people out trying to make, rob a house would probably not want to end up killing somebody. So they're not going to have their gun, flopping around their waist like that. So anyways, that was a thought of mine. It just,
no, I think it's pretty interesting. Kind of, I mean, there's been times where I look at this person and he just looks like just sort of a random, not even like he just wanted to create a scene and like I don't know how to explain it, but a killer, almost like a Koberger, like he sits around and he goes, hey, boy, I'm going to order these things on Amazon. I'll get this K-bar knife. He bought his balaclava as well online. He got this and
Sure.
that. And then, you know, probably all the stuff he bought somewhere to create his little kit because he's going to be really cool and do this thing.
Right. You know,
maybe that's what
you're right. Because like a K-bar, it's rather extreme, right? It's not something you can, you know, it's not a folding knife you can easily conceal. It's a big knife, and this guy, the way he's got his gun displayed, it seems unusual. You know, to the point where they think it might be like, I think they said it might be a Walter or, you know, specific brand of handgun, and they're able to tell it's like a revolver holster, and you know they don't match.
Well, the gun seemed like a typical. I mean, I've seen the guns that have that same grip on. I don't think that was a revolver.
No, it wasn't. But I had heard that the holster was designed for a revolver.
Oh,
right. So, and it kind of sits up high out of there. Another thing, and I know you've got the sequence ironed out. It looks like at one point, like he doesn't have the gun on him, and another point he does. So he takes that off with the backpack.
Well, the thing is that some people think that the image where he doesn't have anything on could be from like January 11th. They're saying. I mean, there was a super chat on another channel, and they said, "Oh yeah, my friend works for the cops." That's what they say. It's also the same date that law enforcement was looking for any footage between 9 and 11 p.m. I thought they said, and on January 11th and January 31st, then they switched it to the whole month. But right before that, they put that out there. So, I mean, it would be interesting if that was him just kind of scoping the place out on a different day, wouldn't it?
Most definitely. You know, and then this also makes me think, like, man, could this just have been someone who was part of a crew that did the roof? You would think that would be so easy to figure out. And they could rule that out rather quickly. But I mean, I would think that this guy had been there before to do some kind of maintenance or something. They know it's an older lady. You know, they interview some of the neighbors. You see them outside, and you know some of these guys are 60. They look like they're 6 foot tall and could still really, you know, put some damage on someone, right? So there would be some risk of just thinking, oh, it's all elderly people who couldn't defend themselves.
Yeah. Somebody pointed out too, like in April of 2024, or like in 2024, there was this big construction project right up like if you go out her driveway and then the driveway across the street right there, you know, maybe somebody from there remember. Yeah, I don't know. It's just weird. I like kind of like the theory of just him being somebody that maybe, I mean, if he's getting a hold of TMZ, let's say it's the same person, then they didn't do this because he was a maintenance worker. They did it because she's famous and knew that it would create a big thing. And that's why they sent it to TMZ, right? So you send it to TMZ, and then you know, so after you've abducted a very famous woman's mother, you then send a message to TMZ first because it has maximum publicity. And you're not even trying to get a ransom. This person maybe just did this to do it. You know, those are the scary people. Like Koberger, he killed just to do it. There was no, they didn't do anything to him. They didn't do anything. He just did it because he wanted to be a serial killer. Hey, look at me, look at me. So maybe this person's like that. I mean, I lean towards it being some other thing, like you know, a ransom for that went bad, and then they haven't known what to react. But then why would you send it again to TMZ? See, that shows sort of if they believe those are really from the person, why would you do that?
Well, I kind of question whether law enforcement believes that is actually the perpetrator when they let TMZ be the mouthpiece for those ransoms.
Well, no, they didn't let him do anything. They do it. TMZ doesn't give a shit with law enforcement. They just do it. I mean, they'll not say something, but they're the ones that went forward with that first letter because they wanted the publicity for it. Where 3 other, you know, multiple other stations got the same letter and they didn't say anything because they actually gave it down. TMZ just wanted to get the views, and it worked.
Okay.
You know.
It definitely worked. It seems a little sleazy, honestly, if
Well, yeah,
that
it
was the
is.
case, where the FBI or law enforcement might have a different approach on how they go about it.
Yeah, and so now they're getting stuff, and they do communicate apparently with them, but then they say stuff like, "Yeah, they've asked us not to do this and this, but what we will say is this, and that." But originally they didn't ask, should we say anything? They just came forward with that they got a ransom note. They just didn't say everything that was in it, and nobody else even said that they got one. But the thing
Right.
is, why did the people who sent the ransom include TMZ in it? I mean, that's pretty bizarre, isn't it? I mean,
I think honestly, I have trouble believing that the same person putting out these ransom notes is linked to this case. I feel like they're a bad actor trying to just extort the family. In
yeah, well, I
this
think some of them were
time
for
of
sure, but they seem to, even Nancy or even Savannah's videos that she made seemed to, like, they were pretty interested in them as being legit. And as a matter of fact, at that last press conference that they did, the FBI guy said, yeah, I mean, he mentioned a couple different elements that that were in the ransom notes, like where I think it was where the phone was or something, and then the floodlights being broken. Now, they looked into, like, when was that in the media for somebody to have known that, and obviously if it came out 2 days before the ransom note came in, they would probably discount the ransom note, but they didn't appear to do that. So
right.
I think they've investigated, the information that was in the ransom note that only the quote killer would know. They determined wasn't out in the public yet, so that would be interesting.
Right. So back to the recent construction, that would give someone a familiarity with that area where they wouldn't have to put an address in. It might give them, a level of confidence in that area of, they've been in and out of there numerous times. They know where to park. They kind of know the spacing of the houses, and maybe they kept an eye on that residence over time, just kind of coming up with this idea in their head that, maybe they're, so I do find that interesting if that is in fact true, that, it was a construction crew down the street not too long ago. That would kind of make sense. So
that would be kind of interesting. I guess we'll have to wait and see, but
yeah,
interesting stuff.
All right. Well, that's all I had, Gray.
All right. Well, thanks for calling in. That was good.
Yep.
Thanks.
Have a good night. Yep.
You
Thanks.
too. All right. Well, I'd like to get to the point where I could donate my 5, but we need about 17 more channel memberships to get to that. That's how slow it's been. We had such a great start, and then it just went. Let's see. Maybe someone provided a pistol with a suppress. I don't even know what you guys are talking about, man. Why are we into the silencers, and how'd that even get into the conversation? Mm-hmm. Well, I can always just make it a shorter night, I guess. I mean, I'm just spinning my wheels the last bit here. No. I doubt it. I mean, if you left the calling card, they'd probably be treating this differently. All right, you guys. Really dead. People are just, nobody's chatting. Nobody's, If you want to call in and do your theory, we got the at the top of the chat is the StreamYard link that you can call in and discuss what your theories are in the case. Okay, we're just trying to make things happen on this channel on a nightly basis, and I'm sorry I don't have 17,000 people watching, putting out bullshit that people love, but that's just the way it is. Yeah, so if you can get me, I'm not saying it's impossible that there's moonlight in there, but it's just, you know, you look at it, and I just think it'd be difficult to get the moon in there. Just where the house is and the trees. Maybe it kind of snuck in from back over there, came in. Definitely possible, I guess. Definitely possible. And that would be on the 1st. So that, I guess that would be, well, I mean, if it's July 1st, wouldn't that be July evening 1st that it would do that? Not in the morning. But that means it was partially full on July 1st, right? Thanks, Jim Lawn and Miss Kyla and Wild Bill Wassman. Right, when people say they're here, but the problem is if you guys aren't chatting and communicating in here, the algorithm's like, oh yeah, forget it. Okay, so when you're just sitting around waiting and not, you know, like you ever seen the shows where the chat just goes by so fast that you can't even catch up with it? We never have that problem here. Okay, so it's like, you know, talk and discuss and do those kind of things in the chat, and that's how YouTube actually uses that in their algorithm to start sending people over. Oh, look at it, it's busy over there. Instead, it's just dead as a doornail. People are just sitting there, just like staring at the screen. I don't know if it's like what's going on, but come on, you know. Maybe she went out with the trash. I hope not. And no, I doubt it. I'm sure they would have looked at something like that. I don't think I've ever seen in this case that they went to the trash place and checked it out. Here, let's look at that. Yeah, I don't know. You know, so like when you look at this, see when he's further out there, the shadow isn't great anymore, but when right there, you can see it for sure. And then you also see the shadow right in there. Is that still the moonlight? And then you go to this one. It's dark out, and he's further back than... So there's the end of the cement. And then in that foot there, I think, is in, you know, it's in between that is where he's standing. I don't know. You know, either way, what difference does it make, right? It actually helps prove that he was there on that night. Well, how do you know? But maybe they have hope themselves, Chris Parks. You know, they're until they know that she's not alive, then you got to pretend that she's still alive out there. You know, you got to believe that. You're not going to say, hey, you know, and all of a sudden, let's say she shows up. How bad would that look? You know, as a matter of fact, I bet you would say something later if they came out right now and said, hey, Savannah, listen, she's not alive anymore, man. And then a week later, she shows up alive. You'd go, oh, man, that sheriff boy, he sure jumped the gun. He's an asshole. Look at that. You know how it goes. No, she was not killed at the house that night. We know that because of this image right here. That image right there shows that she coughed as she was being removed from the home. There is blood dripping. That could be a bloody nose, whatever, but she is alive as she's exiting the home. How do you know, Gray? Do we know which video is actually first in the timeline? Well, I think I'm certain myself that this image here is before 147. It wouldn't be after. He'd still have, why would he go back to the door to look at it? This is like a surveillance moment where he's looking to see what's going on. I just have no doubt at all that that's before. If it is after, I'll be shocked. I'll be like, wow, what a weirdo, man. You remove the camera, you've already taken her body out or whatever, and then you're just going to walk in and stand there. Now, is this from a video? Where's the video? Why don't they release the video of this? Let's see if we can get like one more challenge by some other people in here. We might make it getting close to the level where I can donate my 5 memberships, but I have to do it at certain numbers, or I'm just eating away the income from the channel. So if you guys have the ability to do that, that'd be great. We're still about what is it? About 15 channel memberships short. The credible channel that has the no, you can't. No, because there's no credible channel that has color video. Okay, there's no credible. Nobody that has this as a color video is a credible channel. All right. Yeah, so that's like almost an oxymoron. Can I mention the credible channel that has the color enhanced video? No, you can't. You know why? Because it's bullcrap. And it doesn't help anything anyways. Because if you're using AI to do it, you're not seeing the original. Yeah, this case, this is just like the other ones, man. The crazies come out. If you see somebody talking about how Google Trends identified where a killer looked up an address, they're full of crap. If you see somebody drawing a sketch of somebody inside of a balaclava, they're full of crap. If you see somebody drawing coming up with an image using AI of the guy's face, they're full of crap. If they're putting color on it, sure, you can look at it like, oh, it's a color video, but it has no value whatsoever in the case. Okay, do you understand that? Hey, look at that. It's Chris O'Connell. How the hell's it going? How's it going, Chris O'Connell? I haven't seen you for a while. She's probably on vacation, you know. How's it going? Well, there. Look at that, you guys. Now we're only 10. We are only, 10 memberships short of where I can donate 5 memberships. So there you go. I can't believe the media and streamers are still hanging around Nancy's house. It goes well? Cool. It's been weeks now. Right. Yeah, I have, you know what? I've never watched the live streamers that are sitting there. There's no point of doing it. It's just weird at some point. I mean, I might, if I go there, I'm not going to be sitting in a lounge chair staring at the house all day. I would go around and film different things, and I don't even know how much time I'd be there, because it's like you can't really do anything. You can't go to the house and film anything. Hey, thank you, Heli Fly. Yeah, we need a challenge of some sort in here to get to a goal. It's been a really struggle lately in here. I mean, we've reached the goals and done okay, but it's just the amount of effort in that aspect of the show it's not really that fun. It's creepy seeing those weirdos sitting outside. Yeah, it is. Didn't the main one already take off? It must be difficult. It's like panning for gold in a stream that's filled with gold, and one day saying, man, I've just had enough, and then taking off. Like Tom Hanks in Castaway. They want the money, but don't want to actually work for it. Right. Well, I mean, it does take effort to be there. I sometimes I actually, like, I'm I don't begrudge people going there. It's the just sitting there for days and days and days, staring at the house, and then following things around, and then creating their own story out of nothing. When you have 20,000 people watching, or even if you have 400 people watching, you should have way more responsibility to put the truth out than just run with any wild theory that somebody types in. Hey, thanks, Annie Y and Grant. And Grant. Let's see, what are we at here? I think we're like 9 channel memberships short. Found out one of the main streamers was, well, yeah, I've told you that, you guys. You look him up on Amazon, and they always say, his little viewers always say, he's changed. No, he hasn't, man. He's the same one. Same person, just does it differently. Oh, yeah? That'd be cool, Eloquent Pirate. If I ever do that. What the ho? Look at that. It's Chris O'Connell. Well, thank you. That was really nice of you there. Chris O'Connell. Have you been following the case, Chris O'Connell? I've seen you. Yeah, you've shown up like you've commented underneath some of my videos. All right, there we go. There we go. All right. What's your best guess of what happened to Nancy? This case is what's frustrating about this case to me is usually we do cases and I work through it and I really know what the reality is. This one isn't really like that. What are we looking at, Devin's forearm? What are we looking at? Well, thanks, Chris O'Connell. I need my grave fixed. Yeah, this is one of those ones where it's just, you know, I guess if I would guess, I would say it was some psycho person that was going to do a ransom. You know what throws you off all the time? You know, the ransom one, yes, you would take a body out of the house. But then you'd say, well, why the hell did you send it to TMZ? That's not how people do it. And then you think, well, if it's a ransom that went wrong, but you're still trying to get a ransom, why'd you send it to TMZ again? So there's things that make you just go, I don't know, like that. Yeah, that's the thing. That's what we were just talking about, April, a few minutes ago. It's like, is this some random, like just a killer type person? And maybe it is a stalker or somebody that really likes Savannah or something. And he's just trying to create maximum pain and suffering by getting a hold of TMZ. So the story is really big all the time. And they're enjoying seeing the fruits of their labor discussed over and over on TMZ every single day. Just like, that's me, guy. Hey, that's me. I'm the one that did that. You know, like that. They're so excited about it. Chris kicks out a 50-yarder. What's that? Oh, her 10 gifted memberships. I wasn't sure what the look at. I thought there was another challenge up there. Yeah, what we were talking about earlier is if you look at this case like it's a Koberger type, just like that, like a Koberger type, he goes out and he buys the gun holster, you know, and I've been thinking about some of this stuff too, not just when the caller called in, just about how everything's bought at Walmart and it seems like Koberger, you know, using Amazon and stuff. So he's buying this little kind of kit that he's going to be, you know, not a kill kit, but, you know, his outfit. Ooh, look at this neato. Look at what I found. This cool balaclava. I'm going to order that one. I'm going to get this one. I'm going to get. And then he gets these things and he goes out there and he's just so casual. He's sort of enjoying the moment. Maybe if I get this plant, will that work? Yeah. And then he goes into the house. But I think the person's goal was to actually abduct Nancy Guthrie, you know, and all the stuff that I said in the video that he disabled he was going to try to block it at one point. And then he decided, well, I'll just remove the camera because he was going to be parking his car in that front driveway there, knowing that the camera would film his vehicle. So then after, you know, he disables the camera, he goes and gets his car and he moves it there because now that camera cannot see his vehicle. So then he goes around the back, and that's when he's picked up at 2:12 by the camera outside that was filming the yard. And then he enters the home, and then you know, whatever he does with Nancy in there, maybe he ties up her hands or does something with, you know, duct tape or whatever, and, you know, removes her from the house through the front door. She coughs there, etc. Then he brings her to the car and takes off, and her, just as they're approaching the car or getting into the car, maybe a little bit before that, at 2:28 is when her pacemaker stopped communicating. And then he took her away, and, you know, in that scenario, she's likely not alive, but he wanted to make a big, you know, like, hey, and then I'm going to send messages to the family and TMZ, not the family, the newspaper articles and TMZ, and make it a really big thing. And I'll be so popular and I'll be like this cool guy, you know, like that. Isn't that weird? Like, it could be something like that in this case, that it isn't it's somebody that just thought, wow, maybe after they saw the special in November that, hey, this is a great target for my fantasy, right? Or it could be somebody that was a stalker of Savannah and did something just to get her to just destroy Savannah, basically. But I don't have one. See, my thing is I don't really even have one of my theories that I lean towards, really, in terms of the why. I think the way I have it mapped out in the time frame seems to work pretty good. What was happening on the scene? Hey, Lauren, I'm not going to unblock you, okay? I'm just not going to do it. Don't you think these people are idiots when they come in here and they say, unblock me now, Gray? And it's like, well, if you were blocked, I wouldn't be able to read it. And if you thought you were blocked, why'd you type it in? Because then I wouldn't be able to see it either. Man, these people, I tell you. Wow. Logic, reason, common sense. Okay, who's calling in next? Yeah, well, I hope she's still alive. But they would have had to have medication to keep her alive, right? Seems like she would need the blood thinners and different things that she takes on a daily basis. What the heck? What's going on in here? Real question, do you think Brian K. was framed? And the real answer is no, nut job. He admitted it. In fact, he even pled guilty by saying he did it. Wow. Anyways, if this jerk is a sadist, then there is no telling what he'd do. Didn't Rex Heuermann taunt the sister of one of the victims? Yeah, wouldn't that be crazy if this is what this is, you guys? like this is, well, what if this is not one of the classic, okay, robbery went wrong, a botched ransom thing, and that this is just like, yeah, like a Rex Heuermann Koberger, you know, but in this case, the person's taunting. He's way past that. Like the perhaps those first two ransom notes were just taunting the police. Just it had nothing to do with anything. He wasn't trying to get any money or anything. And this person doesn't want money and had never had anything to do with money or anything. It's just that's what this person was doing. Hey, Lauren, then why? How come a minute ago you said unblock me now? Okay, we don't want you to be trolling in here, Lauren. We're not interested in it. Okay, if you troll one more time, I will remove you from here because, like, at least you're admitting it. Thank you. Jesus. Let's see. The stress on an 84-year-old being kidnapped this long is truly unsettling. Okay, if you make one more trolling comment, you're out of here. All right. Thank you.
God, that Gray guy's so mean. He won't let people troll his channel. What is this? I thought it was freedom of speech, you bastard.
Well, my show is not a democracy. Isn't that weird? It's actually my show. I get to control it. You know, you can go right now to another channel and spew out all of the crap that you want to, and they'll probably accept it and be so happy that you're there chatting. All right. We just don't do that. I like having a lot of people too. However, I won't sacrifice integrity and wanting the whole bunch of people sitting there. Just, you know, I won't sacrifice my own personal morals like that just to have the people be here. Forget it. Yeah. Let's see. I want to be optimistic, but is there's a point where it would be more beneficial for the investigation to start looking for? They have been. They've been flying around with a helicopter, trying to. And Jay, are you the one that was talking about the moon earlier? I mean, you know, hell, maybe you're right, man. It doesn't bother me at all. It doesn't change anything. I don't think we needed proof to know when the video was where he was at the door. We know at 1:47 he disconnected the camera, and he's right there in the process of trying to figure that out. It looks like. Yeah, or pacemaker. Yeah, right. All right, guys. If you have the ability to help support the channel, we'll see if we can keep on trucking here. If not, that's cool too. But we are now reaching. This is only a 28-day month, and today's the 19th, so we're getting further into the month here. Trying to have a good one, even though it's a short month. I think it could be somebody. I mean, that's another thing. Is it somebody that knows her, and that's why maybe they didn't think she was supposed to be home or something, and they go in there, and then she recognized them, and then they had to take her out. I guess one of the things we always have to keep in mind in this case is why did the person? I mean, what if we eliminate? Let's try this experiment. Forget the ransom notes. Pretend none of those are true at all. Not the first two, that they're not from the person. And then when you say, why would you send it to TMZ? You wouldn't be able to say that anymore. So get rid of the ransom note part of it. In fact, that's probably just a good something to try anyways, because it's sort of, they weren't real ransom notes, meaning they weren't actually trying to get a ransom. And they could have been from the person, but what relevance, I guess, I mean, that would show a certain depravity. So let's say you don't have that. What do you got? Welcome, Zep332. Yeah. Well, thanks, Eloquent Pirate. Gray support Gray. He gives back why not many people do, but Gray does. He invests himself into the details of every crime and gives it to us so we can see the truth. That's what I try to do. I mean, if I get something absolutely wrong, I'll say, yeah. Like earlier, even in my video today, I was thinking, man, wouldn't that be crazy if he still had the Nest camera on him when he went back into the house? It would be recording, but all we know now is law enforcement said, you know what? We don't know, right? Like all they said, based on the way they communicate, we don't know. He said it disconnected from the camera, disconnected from the network at 1:47. But they didn't say maybe it reconnected at another time. They're just not telling us that. They wanted to give us the broad timeline of it. So I guess it's possible, but I would lean towards that that's just when it stopped connecting forever, right? Hey, look at that. It's Vivacious Val with the hoodie. What's going on in that picture there? Let's see. Without that, let's just think about it for a minute. So you don't have, where are we at if we don't have any of the ransom notes, if they're all bogus? They have like nothing even. See, the ransom notes give you a psychological perspective, something to kind of look at, but pretend that those are not related at all, that they would prove that. Then all you have is, Nancy being removed from the home basically at 2:28. That's it. There is nothing else after that. But you know that she's with that person and perhaps somebody else. I'm actually lean towards there just being one person that went into the house. At least there could be somebody that might have been moving the car around or whatever. But I just think one person was in there, and a gun is how you achieve that. Good person, somebody was waiting in the car. Yeah, I just said that. Maybe there was a person in the car. Only other theory that makes sense is Savannah crazy stalker. I think that with the ransom notes in the exact same place, I don't believe the ransom notes have anything that changes. Right. I mean, that's the thing is the ransom notes. But one thing with the ransom notes is I always come back to saying, but why would he send it to TMZ? Right? That's crazy. And so then that actually starts making you think about what this killer really is at that point. But if you eliminate it, then you don't even have that. See, if there's a psychological element that why would you send anything to TMZ? What do they have to do with anything? If you're trying to really get money and you're trying to do this, maybe the person thought TMZ, being a wealthy company, might actually pay a ransom to try to get some information. But not when they were asking for $6 million. That's what they were asking for in the first ones. Oh man, my light just blew out in my face. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I just think it's one person with a gun, but maybe it's possible somebody was driving a vehicle or whatever. There's a lot of possibilities. What we like to do is come up with what seems to be the most likely thing, given what we know. Oh my God. Cartels have many tunnels across the borders. Come on, Zep. Come on, Zep. You would kidnap a person of a famous person. Right, that's who this is, right? Exactly. If he's a publicity hound, you would kidnap a person of a famous person, like a family member of a famous person, right? Yeah, that's exactly what they did. But clearly, this is somebody who knew. See, I said it at the beginning. I said I'll give this case a month. So we're already on 19 days in. This is a short month too. So we'll just see. I mean, I'll always come back to it as long as do updates and if there's breaking news and stuff like that. And maybe it'll start getting much bigger coming up here. What I'll tell you this is where you want to be. If a probable cause document ever comes out, you don't want to look at any of the other clowns out there. You want to come right here because we know how to put it all together in a way that's just like, whoa. Okay. Hey, thank you, James Cornelius. Very cool. Thank you. I don't think we another zero coffee night. Man, that's. Let's see. Hey, just watch the latest video you posted. Blah blah blah. It reminded me. Yeah, it's just so hard to read these long emails when you're doing a show. I'll read it later. Let's see. Let's just watch this just again, just to. Hey, look at that. Hey, there's a little weed over here I can pick up. Hey, look at this, a weed. Is that going to work? Will this weed cover the camera? Yay! Yeah. Wow. That's crazy. All right, how about let's try this one right here. No, not that one. I think it's this one. Yes, everybody, you too can buy a balaclava and a pair of gloves, and you too can pretend to be a vicious serial killer. What you do now is you go outside and you grab yourself a couple plants right off the ground, and then try to place it over the top of the camera. And yes, you too can look like an absolute buffoon when the plant falls off of the camera, realizing that just wouldn't work. So then later on, you tear the camera off and put it in your pocket. Thank you very much for watching. And as I always say, all right, okay, what's the next one? I think that one might be pretty good for you. Let's see. Oh, yes. Look at this guy. Very mysterious. Doesn't it just totally disarm this fool with this music? Yeah. All right. Let's see. What's the other one? Not that one. All right. I think this next one's better. Hold on. All right. Hold on. This one. Hey, thanks, Nikki. Oh, what a prize here, everybody. Tell you what, if you're able to place this weed on top of the camera, you'll win that stuffed toy right up here. Now, step right up and give it a shot here, sir. All right, let me see if I can do it here. Let me see. Okay, crunch. I don't know. Is it going to stick right there? I'm having a hard time with that part there. If I can just move it over here a little bit. Ah, the hell with it. I don't know. Anyways, all right. Well, that guy, you know, wow, what a big time killer. Hey, good job, buddy. You're amazing. Yikes. Wow. I mean, I wonder if they know how stupid they look. Let's see. Hey, Gray, sounds like the old days stream with the freaks. Yeah, a little bit like that. A little bit. Don't they always sound like that? Well, I thought that one was pretty good one, but I think the best one is yeah, that one right there. Yeah. That's right. Step right up, Phyllis says. What do you think about the ring? Yeah, I don't believe that at all. See, what's weird is people say, like, somebody goes, look, there's a ring, and everybody look. It's just like the same as the, what do you call it? The spirit box. You tell somebody you hear something, then they all hear it. There is absolutely no way you can tell that there's a ring there, nor does it even look like there's a ring. Okay? You're saying that's a, where's the ring here? They're saying it's right in there. It's right there. Look, it's right there. Look. You're calling this a ring right here? That's just wrinkles. That's a wrinkle. That's not a ring. Where's the ring, everybody? That's the new buzz out there. Oh, there's a ring. And the sad part is the networks pick up on it, just like they do with the stupid Google Trends garbage. Where's the ring on the finger there? Go ahead. Where is it? Let's see where the ring is. Let's see. Hold on. Let me try it here. Oh, the ring. The ring. There's a ring. Man. Watch it. Gilligan, little buddy. Yeah, I don't see a ring, you guys. I'm sorry. I don't see it. Can you tell me where the ring is, please? Where is that ring that everybody's talking about? Oh, yeah. Oh, right there. That's got to be a ring. Does that even look like a ring to rational-minded people there? No, it looks like a wrinkle on a glove. All right. Where is it? Tell me where the ring is. And what type of ring is it, by the way? Is it a 12 karat or 10? You know, get your sketch artists out there. They're going to go ahead and draw the ring underneath the glove there. It's going to be great. Get that same sketch artist that you guys were all so pumped about. Let's see what they can draw that ring. I'm sure it's absolutely apparent to them what type of ring that was. In fact, it's a ring to throw people off. They put it on there. They got it out of one of those Cracker Jack boxes and put it on their finger, and they make it look like they've got a ring, but they never wear a ring. Wow, this guy's clever. Boy. All right, so is the ring, does it show up now? Is it right in here, or where is it? I don't see it, man. I still don't see it. That's right. 200 rings found. Oh, look at, oh, that's got to be a ring there, guys. Look at. Wow. Wow. Got to be a ring, everybody. That's the new buzz out there. I should make like a sarcastic video out here. One that has the ring, one that talks about the sketches with the, it's just. How many of you guys, put a 1 if you believe that there's a sketch artist out there that can draw a really good image of a face with somebody wearing a balaclava? Hey, thanks, Ben Gold Cat Chili. Please do a debunking. Oh, right, exactly. That's what I want to do. Exactly, that's what I was just thinking. I said I would donate last month, so here you go. Hey, thanks, Songbird. The solo perpetrator does make sense because the coughed up blood demonstrates she walked out. Yeah, that's right. That's exactly what I said. I think at gunpoint, she walked out, she coughed, and there didn't need to be somebody else helping the person. And all we see on camera is one, and it just sort of feels that way. You know, you see this one guy just kind of casually walking around. What do you guys think of the theory that people have? I've heard where the person used Nancy's car to take her somewhere and then drove her car back and put it in the garage. They did test her car, but then where did that person go? And maybe that's one of the reasons they think it's right here in the area somewhere. That'd be pretty crazy, wouldn't it? Yeah, it's not just too much is unknown. There's nothing. You cannot make a sketch. Anybody claiming that they can come up with a sketch that's going to be accurate. Now, it might look generally like somebody, just like when somebody describes a witness on any sketch, they go, okay, look at he had curly brown hair, somewhat bushy eyebrows, had a goatee on. He had, one of his, it looked like his earlobes were sort of long. Somebody draws it, right? And then all of a sudden you see a person out there. It's got, brown. He's got curly hair. It's just nuts. Okay. And the fact that anybody that pretends to be a professional would do something like that is even scarier. All right, hold on. All right, who's this? Is this James?
Hey,
what's going on?
Hey, can you hear me okay?
Yeah, I can hear you. Yeah.
Awesome. Hey, so I'm fascinated with the work you do with the Google and whatnot with these types of cases. Have you done
Google Earth?
Yeah, Google Earth or Apple Maps, however you want to do it. I've found that Apple Maps is usually more up to date, but so I mean, obviously there's no vehicle description, which of course they could not be. They it's possible they're not releasing that, but when I was following you during the Tyler Robinson stuff, they kind of threw out everything and that they had in order to get him. And I understand there's priorities to these searches.
Yeah. I think this might be all they have currently to help.
Right. So then I was wondering, how do you think, do you think that maybe that I've done a little bit of searching myself within that large, I don't know, maybe a square mile area between Oracle, Orange Grove, Campbell, and River. And I'm just looking for areas of waves to be undetected leaving that neighborhood. And my theory is that maybe the perp may have stayed in the neighborhood for a lot longer time than maybe not, but until they blend in with the movement of Tucson.
Oh yeah, maybe they stayed like in a vehicle till 10 in the morning or something, and just sort of
So
now, right. That makes sense, because then you're not really a unicorn at 2:30 in the morning.
Exactly right. So then you can leave with 14 other cars or whatever it may be.
Wouldn't you be nervous to do something like that, though?
Yeah, but
you kind of freak out.
To do anything close to this, though. I mean,
that's true. I mean,
but I mean, I get it. I've seen all the images of what it's like at night, and I don't think any ring is picking anybody up on the streets.
What's interesting about that thought is like, just his casualness at the door. Maybe he's not somebody that even gets nervous. He just sort of like, yeah, whatever, He just he gives a shit. He's just like,
well, and then you've heard the Google Trends theory and stuff. So it is possible that he's done his research.
Well, the whole Google Trends thing is that's a bogus. That doesn't work like that, and you can get like little false hits and things, and you can even try to like. You ever notice have you ever tried to do what they did, and you don't get the same thing at all. It's not even close. And as a matter of fact, they try to hide what they're doing because it was blurred out, like the searches that they used for the Google Trends. Why would you do that? I mean, why would you blur that out? Just show us what the words are. They're just words that are simple. Like, they're not giving away an address or anything. You're just saying, hey, what is the address of Nancy Guthrie in Tucson or something?
Right. So again, back to the satellite images, a lot of these in this terrain, you see those wash basins. They serve as, if you ask me, hidden corridors. It appears, based on the zooming in I've done, that it's possible that people in that neighborhood use those as a trail when they're not flooded. So if you okay, so you're at
like these things right here, these little.
Sure, yes, exactly right. Yeah. So if you go, I mean, the one I was most interested in, if you go where let's see, which avenue are you on right now? If you go to
the house, let's go to the house.
Go to her house and then go southwest to the intersection right there. That should be Camino Miral. Go north now.
Okay.
Stop. Now zoom in.
Like right here, this thing?
Yeah. Zoom. All right, no, go to look. Okay, so you see how it sits below the road, but if you go right where that house is, there's an entrance that appears to be almost like a vehicle entrance right there.
Oh, right there. Okay.
Yes. So, and then you get into that, and I have followed that one in particular north, and would you? I mean, nobody's gonna at 2:30 in the morning. Possibly nobody's watching that, but that goes all the way to the neighborhood.
You wouldn't want to have your lights on, I don't think, because I think that would.
No, but I mean, you're not going to see anything whether you're on the road or on that path there. Maybe that sand may reflect the moonlight better. I'm not sure, but I just don't. I've been really not obsessed, but paying attention to how these guys or guy got out of the neighborhood. Another thing too is if they took her, I mean, yeah, it could be some type of stalker story or something to do directly with Savannah. But if they didn't leave her at the house, I don't think they wanted her to be found. So,
but it's also the whole. Yeah, the motive is something I don't think any of us really know at this point. That's the part that's
right.
And if we had the motive, we could start going, okay, here's what this probably means, and this is one of those cases we need the motive, because it's the part about her being removed is probably the biggest sort of red herring element that you've always got to keep. Oh, that's right, she was removed from the home. We all know that she was removed from the home, but that's the one thing that just kind of. It's a reversal of a thought you might have. You go,
right.
Hey, I think oh, that's right. Then they removed her.
Have you done a lot of the overhead satellite imagery of the area there? I mean, I see that you have it on right now.
Yeah, I've done it. I've been going over this a lot.
Okay. Well, I do notice that on the same block as hers, there's 26 houses, so I've counted that. But on the same block as hers, let's see where you are right now. So if you go north of her house. To the next intersection and then go to the right, there's an alley. No, I'm sorry. Go down, go to her house right there. Yeah. Okay. Go to the direct north intersection. Right there. Okay. Now go to the southeast. So go right at the intersection. Go down. All right. Now zoom in right there to that street. Yeah. All right. Keep going right there. There's an alley. Okay, and there's also power lines above there. So it tells me that there's probably regular, or if not occasional, access to that alley. And that alley, if you follow it, goes to directly behind her house. You can look at it. All right, right there, boom. So I've looked at that, and I'm just like, is that a way out? Without being. I mean, I just don't know. I think somebody's looked at the terrain and kind of made themselves familiar with it.
Yeah, they could have. I mean, I think they've been there multiple times. That's why they were able to just get in and out of there. Because if you're in that place in the dark, you can get lost in 2 seconds.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's hard for me, and I've been following it. It's hard for me to get back to the same place every time. I mean, I don't type in the address, but
Yeah, but like if you were in the pitch black because there's no lights there, and as soon as you leave Nancy's home, if you hadn't been there multiple times to know exactly where to go to get out of there, you're going to get lost. I think there'd be a really good chance. I mean, there are some like, okay, drive down the road, take the first right there, and then that kind of takes you to a main road, blah, 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 blah. But you still would have to know about that. And in the darkness, if you haven't driven it, you might turn at the wrong time, etc.
right. So there are a few schools outside of the, and then there's just some banks too. So banks and schools, I feel like those have pretty good security. I mean, obviously I don't have a direct channel to the FBI. I mean, not that they would care to have a conversation, and I don't have a tip. I just have ideas, you know. But yeah, there's got to be a way to trace that quadrant of, or that square mile there, or of just that neighborhood, and find out who exited where, but see, I don't know. Again, you wait long enough time.
That's what I have. See this my little red square here, this red outline.
Okay.
These are like main roads.
Yes.
The main streets right here isn't, but you could actually just extend it right down to there like that. So the thing is right inside there, I think they should have an idea if the person left the area or not. Just even if you see the car through the trees, unless they did what you were saying and they sat around and waited till 8 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah. So that, or used maybe the lesser known, like one of the creek beds that maybe didn't come out until, I mean, you could follow that through. I know there's even a tunnel if you go toward Oracle, but
is it big enough for a car to get through?
Yes. Okay, so right there, I think you have first. Is that first that you have? Right there? Okay, go to the west a little bit more.
Is that Oracle, this one?
Oracle is going to be the next major corridor to the left. Let's see where you are now. Let's see.
Well, I mean,
right, you're right. So in the U.S. Route 80, if that's US. Okay. So if you zoom in right there, there's some tunnels. No.
Like these kind of things.
Yes. Go down.
Yeah.
Go down a little bit.
I am down it. I see it.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So you'll see go to the left. Yes, there they are. So,
are you watching on television or are you watching?
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm going back.
If you watch on Zoom, you can see exactly where I'm at.
Okay, I'm so sorry. Yeah, so I was watching on TV and then I was yes. So okay. Now I'm back on the phone. I'm sorry. Okay, yes, you are exactly where I'm talking about, and that's an idea I had too of getting away from, and I haven't explored beyond that avenue, but.
Yeah, that'd be crazy if somebody. I mean, is that big enough? You think for a car, or is that just?
Yeah, because I've seen on other streams where they've explored, and they're about room size. I'd say 10 feet. You know, so
yeah,
and then you can, I'd say any small compact sedan.
I mean, I don't see any tire tracks there. I do see here maybe.
Yeah, well,
I just don't see any coming out of that. I mean, you think people I don't know.
Okay, well, I really it was good talking to you.
Yeah, you too. I like some of those theories are pretty good. I like the one about hanging out maybe a little bit later and blending in with other vehicles.
Yeah,
or maybe using some alternate routes driving around.
Right. So yeah, the waiting until, because I don't think she was. I mean, if she had church at whatever it was, local time 11, they would have had that 4 or 5 hour daylight period
before she was missed.
Before of daylight. Yes. So from like around 6:30 a.m. until you want to say noon, then they had that much time to decide which start blending. So
cool.
Yeah, man.
Well, thanks, James, for calling in. Call again sometime.
Yeah, I will, absolutely. Now that I know how to. You take care.
All right, but look at the screen on the
phone. Yes, I got
on the phone. Yeah. All right, man. Have a good one. Thanks.
All right, take care.
Bye. Yeah. All right. Hey, you guys, if we get what are we at? I think we need. I think if we get 3 more gifted memberships, we'll have a round number and have a good night tonight. All right, that's it. I mean, even though some of it's I put in 5 memberships, but if we got 3 more memberships, it'd be a decent night. There you go. Oh boy, Raven again, man. He's coming back in. All right, what's going on this time?
Back again. You guys are probably sick of me by now. I'll make it quick.
I'm gonna make a Raven number. He just calls in on the Raven line. Yeah.
I used to have that, remember? Because I only had this anyway. Okay.
Hold on. Thanks, Shinobi Business.
Shinobi Business with another membership. Just 4 more, guys. Just 4 more. No, 8 more. 10.
Thanks, Phil. Yes, keep going. 20, 30, 30, 40. Remember, you ever see that movie Baby Boomer? Or Baby Boom or whatever it was with Diane Keaton? She was well, it's just kind of a random movie, but she would sell she had this really cute baby, and she worked for this huge company that sells food and stuff, but she ended up selling baby. She invented a baby food because her baby wouldn't eat, so she made this food that the baby loved, and then she created this whole baby thing. She went into the store, and the lady said, "Man, these people came from out of town." She put them in a basket on a counter in a store, and these people came in. They go, "How much are those?" And she goes, 5. And they go, 5, that's pretty cheap. She goes, 10, I mean 15. I mean 20, 25. By the time they were done, it was like $50 a jar running out. Yeah, so that reminded me of that, what you just did. All right.
Diane Keaton.
I think that's
how old she now?
Well, she's dead. She died.
Is she? Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Just recently. That's a great movie though. If you haven't seen Baby, I mean, it's just hilarious. Because she gets a baby. Let me just tell you, I'll just give you the general. She was this high executive, just running the world basically, and then a family member of her died and they had a child, and they gave her the baby as in the will, and they give it to her, and she doesn't know what the hell she's doing with the baby, so she's carrying it around by one arm, just dragging it around. Has no clue, and I mean the whole movie is about it's pretty funny. It's actually they never bring
a really graphic image of her dragging this baby, or that's bad.
Well, they never bring it up as one of her best movies, but it absolutely is one of her best movies. It's freaking.
It's one of those things you'd have to get really baked, and if that came on, you'd be like, "This is amazing! This is the best thing I've ever watched."
Well, it's funny. It's funny. I think it's funny even when you're not baked. It's actually funny. Yeah,
it's so 80s too. An executive gets a baby. Let's see what
it was. I think it was in the 80s, maybe early 90s, or I don't know, but it's something around that.
Sounds very 80s. 3 Men and a Baby, was it? That was a good movie. I like that.
All right, what do you got? What do you got now?
So I didn't bring this up before. You might have already talked about it, but about 3 days ago, there was talk of Savannah has written a book.
1987, you're right. Okay, go ahead.
Oh, there you go. I was 2. Savannah has written a book, and in that book is a nice little anecdote about how they used to play a kidnapping game when they were kids.
I've read that, but I never went over it on the show because I don't know.
I kind of moved on from it because, when you read it, it's very much it's not really a kidnapping. It's one of those funny family things, which is an inside joke, but it is very specific. And if you're going off the stalker thing, the whole angle is, they of course would read her autobiography, even if it's ghostwritten, and maybe we're like, ha ha ha, I got you.
Well, let me say thanks. I want to say thanks to Phyllis Watson and Carol Nader up there. Thank you, and also
amazing.
Shinobi Business. All right.
That's right. That name is hard to say too. Shinobi.
I know. I've learned how to say it now. I used to be like Shinobi, or I don't even know if I'm saying it right. That's what my guess is.
It must be so hard, man. Pronouncing names, but then screen names as well, because people make them weird and hard spellings and stuff. You'll probably get a sixth sense for it after a while. The other thing was so the kidnapping story. It could be nothing. It's interesting. I mean, what are the odds? I never played a kidnapping game with my cousins.
But I can't remember. Well, like, what did Nancy have to do with the game?
He would then call up and say, "Oh no, it's fine.
Right.
You can stay there with them."
But it was the other. It was somebody else that would kidnap him, right? Like
a cousin or something.
Yeah, would
like,
kidnap. Would kidnap. Let's see,
Savannah
and who else? And
I guess
Andy, probably.
Yeah, and the brother maybe, because they're all around about the same age, aren't they? Sort of, kind of. Like maybe the brother's the youngest one.
Cameron's the oldest one.
I don't know.
I think.
It's just. I mean, it is. You could pick out anything from any. But if you're going to write a book, it's a weird. That is a weird anecdote. Hey, we used to pretend we were in fear for our lives. I don't know. Maybe they just made it up.
Yeah.
Those things are usually written by ghostwriters.
Obviously, it was written a while ago. I'm just trying to figure out, like,
24.
how does it connect to this though? Like,
let's see.
It doesn't even seem similar, like the events.
No, but the theory is obsession, right? For me, the stalker, and a stalker is definitely going to read a book that she put out. Like, he would have that thing as a Bible.
So he thinks
it
would be fun to, let's see, kidnap the girl's mom that was being kidnapped when they were younger to do. I mean, I don't know. It's just sort of, let's kidnap Savannah, who was one of the people kidnapped. Let's kidnap Nancy, the mother of the girl that was kidnapped in the book.
Easy target. Like, maybe Savannah lives in like a gated, like, I imagine doesn't she have a security team? Whereas old Nancy probably is the type of old lady who's like, get fucked. Excuse me, get effed. I don't need all your protection. I'm an 84. I've been there 50 years. What's going to happen to me? So, I don't know. This guy does seem pretty like he would have run through, he's living in his head. So he's just had time to run through all this. It just sparked, the reason I called back is because when you start talking about it again, the stalker theory, I was like, oh yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's interesting that there's a book that has, a part of it was talking about how they were kidnapped for fun when they were younger. Now, it would have been a great story if it turned out that, this other rumor that was going around is that those people that were but detained the other day, that one of them's last name was Guthrie, and somehow they're related somehow, and then that was the lady that is related to the one that was kidnapping them when they were young. That would be a huge story, but that isn't how it went.
Yeah. No. It's more just a support for the obsession thing, I guess. Because someone who is obsessed would literally suck up all the media they can of that person. And
like, hey, that gives me an idea. I can do a kidnapping. They're reading the book that she wrote, and then, hey, well, let's do a kidnapping then. Something like that. I don't know.
Well, I mean, this guy's obviously a psycho no matter what. So it's like, either way, whoever's done this is either on a lot of drugs and in a lot of debt, or just a psycho stalker. The construction theory is interesting as well. But I was going to say something. Gone. The black gloves. Like, you've probably gone through all this already, but maybe you said to look at the longer cuff to go past a wristwatch. I mean, they are just another specific. You can order them as a long cuff variant, as you probably know. But it's like tattoo artists. Because when I first saw black gloves, I just thought tattoos. Tattoos and mechanics. It's the two I'm sort of thinking. I'm not sure what other industries use it.
There are people that were claiming that you could see a tattoo underneath there, and that's just bogus.
No, I don't think that at all. I haven't seen a tattoo. It's more just the idea that a tattoo artist would have those gloves, but
you're like, look at that.
He
right
seems
there. It's totally different.
Yeah. Well, no, exactly. And he's going to buy gloves regardless. If he's bought all the Walmart stuff, then surely he would buy gloves, and it doesn't matter what he does for a job. Maybe. Yeah.
That's it. All right. Well, you've got the bat line to call in, so you can always call.
No, exactly. I had to get that kidnapping thing out because I think you might have gone over it already, but
No, I haven't gone over the show because to me it's just sort of like it's more. I think it's more sensationalistic. It could be related to something, like it's a stalker kind of read the book sort of thing, but that's about it.
Yeah,
I guess. You never know, man. You never know. Maybe it's a family member who read the book and they're doing it. There you go. Or hey, it's part of the sheriff's new TV show. He orchestrated the abduction so that he can get high ratings when they find her.
It just seems like her family was so loving. Like for him, old mate Tommaso, to drop her back off at home so she didn't have to drive, and like I don't think, and to make sure she went out and interacted with people. Families that don't care, just leave them at home.
Well, they cleared those guys. The sheriff cleared them, but then the next day he said, "Well," they said, "So you've cleared everybody?" He goes, "Well, we just haven't identified them as being the suspect," almost completely reversing saying that they're cleared. You know what I mean? Like, doesn't that sound totally different?
Well, effectively, whatever he says, you can just take off the table. But I don't think that the key part, someone said, I can't remember where I saw it, but it was interesting. They said that even if they didn't think that they were involved and they gave them permission, or even if they thought they were involved and they gave them permission to search the house, their Annie's house, they would have got a warrant anyway. But if they thought they were involved, and it goes to court, and you do a warrantless search, even with permission, any good defense lawyer is going to cut fucking holes through that. So that's what interesting, I thought. Even though they were taking photos in there, they could have just been clearing, say, hey, we'll take some photos and make sure there's no blood here. Of course there's not, but I don't know. Because the photos at night are the only thing that bring that into question. Why would they do it? Like you said, the Blue Star Illuminol, you wouldn't be taking photos in a dark house, Annie's house at night. Unless you're looking for that.
So, So regardless, Banfield was on the right. She got the right information that maybe they moved on from it, but at the time she said it, they were looking at them for sure. There's no doubt about it.
Well, there was, the most logical.
And they could be saying now that they're not suspects to make them feel comfortable again. Something like that. So I guess we'll have to. I guess we don't know because he keeps changing the way he words things. So like we just left it at. Yep, they're not suspects. That would have been great, but or we cleared them. But then now he's saying, well, we just haven't named anybody as suspects. So yeah, they're at this point they're cleared. Whatever the hell he said, and it's just like, well, that's now you're not being. Now we're not sure now because the way you just worded that.
Maybe that's the point. He's confusing everyone, so now the killer's like, "What the hell is that guy doing? I don't know. Should I release her? Should I?"
Yeah, it's going to be like A Few Good Men. See what this sheriff is doing is he's frustrating the killer with his just back and forth over here, and then eventually the guy's going to go, "I'm the one that ordered the code red. I did it." God, he's just going to get so.
I've had enough. I don't care if. But as soon as you said his brother died, it changed I can't be mad at the guy, no matter what he says. I just can't be mad at him. Like, just put yourself in that same position. What would whole world's watching? Your brother dies, and you're trying to solve the most craziest case of the last however many years. Man,
did
he
you
should have just handed it over?
Damn right, I did. Okay, that's from the movie. Listen, did you abduct her? Damn right, I did. Oh my God! Whoa! Finally, see, that's what's going to happen. This guy's getting so frustrated with this. Nothing's leading back to him. He's not getting the attention he wants, and eventually, he's just going to say, "I did it, everybody! Come on!" Right? Hopefully.
Truth. You can't handle the truth. Is that the same movie?
Yeah.
A Few Good Men. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Okay. Well, hopefully, we need a few good men and women. It's 2026 to solve this crime. But yeah. Okay. Hopefully a drone solves it. That would be the best for drones.
Yeah, that would be cool.
Ban them.
Yeah.
Yeah, mate, I'll let someone else call in, but hey,
right,
guys, you gotta donate because if you don't donate, because you can see here, I can scroll up and like things. It's been a while, and as soon as I hang up, the first thing Gray's going to say is, guys. As soon as Ryan calls in, oh crap! I just docked myself.
Yeah. Ryan's like an absolute just super chat killer, man.
Bloody hell. It's racism against Australians because of the crocodile hunter. We're sorry, all right? It wasn't our fault. Okay.
Yeah, that's right. It's not.
All right. Have a good night, guys. Take care.
Thanks. See you. Bye-bye. All right. Very cool. Thanks, Raven. Thanks for everybody else who called in. Appreciate it. I think we had a James and a John, and I think there was another one too. Can't remember. But I think that's going to do it, you guys. We've been on here for 3 hours and 25 minutes of pure hell. It's been awesome. Mm-hmm. Yeah. All right. Thanks, everybody. Let's do the, I'm going to say thanks to, let's see. All right. No coffees, no PayPals, no anything in there. All right. Hey, thanks, Jim Lon. So we got Allie Cake, Timothy Cecil, whose birthday it was. Mary Lou sang for him. And then we have Cheryl Bullock gifted one. And then Desert Oma Rose became a YouTube member. Or a member. A YouTube. And then, let's see. We've got... yeah, somebody on X. Is there anybody watching on X? You should type something in so we can see it. They got Bruce Holdaway. Bruce Holdaway gave me that really cool pen. We're going to be talking about maybe making a freak pen, but yeah, it's awesome. Thanks, Bruce. Bruce Holdaway. And then we got Cinnamon Sin Freak. That might be one of my favorite names on here. And then Irene Cipher, 43 months. Thank you. And then we've got Wild Bill Wassman, gifted a membership. And then Wild Bill Wassman again. And then we had Miss Kyla. And then Twin Thing. And then Alley Cake, as in I'll eat cake. And then I think Wild Bill Wassman was doing a challenge at the time, I think. No, that was Coco Love. And then Betty Black did 5. And then Coco Love did 5 because she challenged. And so she actually got like 9 in there. And then Betty Black with the super chat. And Betty Black said, do you think the Google searches of Nancy's house, Savannah salary that were mentioned were from phones they confiscated during the SWAT raid? I don't think there's no way they can tell what phone, if there was ever even a search. I mean, they could get Google to say, hey, you know, did anybody type these particular words in this area? I'm not sure Google would ever comply to a phishing expedition like that. And then we got Bruce Holdaway explaining the pen. And then Betty Black gifted a membership. Then we had Noreen Gardner. Then Bruce Holdaway. Then Sassy Squatch. Then Saturn Dreaming of Mercury. And then that was Wild Bill Wassman's challenge. So he donated 5. Then Ducky Pam. Then Bruce Holdaway. What I want to know is what happened to January 11th that put the thought in the dude's mind to visit Nancy's house. Well, that's the thing, is we don't know if that's even a reality. However, it could be that they, I mean, it just might have just been a random day that the person went there, and the reason they were asking for people's cameras on those days is because they got the surveillance footage and they know the time of that shot there. That kind of makes sense, actually, doesn't it? Then Bruce Holdaway. Then we had Wild Bill Wassman, gifted a membership. Then Betty Black, Surfignali. Does that mean something? Keep up the great work, they said. Then Betty Black gifted one. Then Bruce Holdaway gifted one. Then Caddy Corner gifted one. Then Boz Bruins gifted one. Then Kathy Freidenmaker. Then Wild Bill Wassman. No, he had another challenge there. Then he gifted 5. Then we have Annie Y. Super chat. 20 there. Thank you. And then Noreen Gardner gifted a membership. Then we have Tamsters. Great video today. Yeah, if you haven't watched my video, go watch it. Then Tamsters gifted a membership. Then Wild Bill Wassman. Oh, yeah, and also Erica called in too. Earlier. Then we had Miss Kyla gifted one. Then Jim Blon. Then Chris O'Connell gifted 5. And then Jim Blon. And then we have Helly Fly gifted 1. And then Grant from Australia. And then we have Annie. And then Chris O'Connell gifted 10. And then I gifted 5. And then we had Zep, a new member. And then we have Vivacious Val. And then James Cornelius. I think that's the one that called in and had that interesting stuff about maybe going through the washes and things. And then Nikki 6. And then Bengal Cat Chili. Songbird the First. Jimlon. Shinobi Business. Phyllis Watson. Carol Naylor. Thank you so much. And Jim Long. Very cool. Thanks, everybody. Appreciate it. Year and a half. That's a long time. A year and a half of hell, huh? I think the sheriff is... Yeah, he makes some... I just think there's been a lot of piling on the sheriff. That's the thing. I just... some of the stuff they were saying wasn't even accurate, the media. But he has done a lot of blunders and stupid things, so it's hard to defend it, It's hard to do that. Yeah, so, all right, you guys. Well, I guess we'll see what's going on tomorrow. I think the call-in shows are pretty fun, though. It's interesting to hear some of the stuff out there. But I think I need to make some debunking videos. I can buy into the moonlight shadow theory over here. And then how this one doesn't have a shadow. I can buy into it. I don't know how certain I am, but it's like, it doesn't, it's not one of the ones I care about, people making up. Yeah. So, all right, you guys, thank you very much for watching tonight. We'll see you guys tomorrow. Hey, tonight wasn't too bad with trolls. I think we've already booted so many of them that they didn't really have a chance to jump in there. Hey, thanks again, Wild Bill Wassman and everybody else, and Chris O'Connell again for your generosity. Helped us get right there to the goal, and everybody else who was generous enough to help support the channel tonight. I appreciate it. Just know that it goes to helping support my channel, and then also we donate thousands of dollars. Usually it's like 30% of the gross income of the channel for the entire year, and then have to pay taxes on the remaining. So it just kind of, it all is what it is. But we're at $284,000 since January of 2020. Pretty sweet, huh? Yeah, so thanks all of you for being here. We'll see you tomorrow. And as I always say, until next time, be safe out there.
Thanks, Billy. Yeah, I've been doing this true crime thing for quite
Thanks,
a while
Billy.
now.
What movie was that
And
from?
during this whole time, I have not
Billy?
seen one person.
Oh yeah, that was Beverly Hills Cop.
Crime dissector.
Beverly Hills
Kid
Cop.
rejector. I'm a certified human lie detector. Gonna get ya.
Gonna stretch ya.
If you try and play me like an
Old projector.
Crime
Sector.
sector is my nectar.
Professor Gray is gonna give another lecture.
Crime collector.
Freak connector.
And I'm always gonna be a
Protector.
Fool
Flactor.
interceptor.
And I mean another specter with a vector.
On his
Spectre.
with all respect.
Spectro. Just remember.
I have a temple fucking
Check show. I have no agenda.
I'm the
Have a header.
and I'll
That's
send
everything
you
is straight without a blender.
And in the end, I'm gonna send ya on a mission to reveal the true offender. Yeah, so I'll just get right back to work. All right, everybody. Talk to you.
Thank you for watching Gray Hughes Investigates on YouTube.
Would you shut the hell up? Let me do it. Thank you for watching Gray Hughes Investigates on YouTube, where we use logic, reason, and common sense to work through true crime cases. Thank you very much for watching, and as I always say, until next time,
Be safe out there.
oh my God, would you let me be safe out there? You know, now I don't even know how to say it anymore because you jumped in there.
Sorry, Gray. Jeez.
Wow. Yeah, my parents are okay. We're moving him into a new facility. They didn't like the one that they were in for some reason. It was brand new. You know, it was nice and everything. But moving him into one closer to one of our brothers here, and a little smaller, a little downsized, and now that same car that they were going to give our kid, they're giving the new one that they just bought. And so we're going to have to figure something out there. Oh, well. Yeah. I think they're going to like the new place better. To answer your questions, though. So. All right. Thanks, everybody. We'll see you later. And again, as I always say, until next time, be safe out there.
Correct.
And some of you make shit up. Evil can never be dead enough.